Hello, everyone, and welcome to something special. This is going to be a Let's Endure. Excuse me. This is going to be a Let's Just Shoot the Shit. My name is Freddie Famosa. We've got some fantastic people here. We've got Mr. Cheesy Che.
What's up? This probably the worst trolling attempt in 10 years.
We've please let us know about audio too. We've got Mr. Dr. Fizz.
What up, everybody?
We've got the mascot himself, Mr. Freddy Fastfuck.
I am the number one SOK fan.
That is
Go team.
That is fantastic. And I, of course, the mastermind, the sinister, the what did he say? Oh well, doesn't matter. You guys already know all that stuff. We're here to do something different here. Now, this is going to be an experiment. Since this is audio only, we're going to be like pausing it so that we can kind of give our takes. So you're going to hear people like, hold on, I need to address that, and hold on, I need to address that. So it's going to be a little bit different for us. It's going to be longer than the original 40 minutes, of course, because we're going to be pausing it and, sort of dissecting this stuff. So let's shoot the shit, as they would say. We've got an InstaSync link here, and this is going to be something. So I see a lot of people are here. A lot of people are excited for this. I just want to say personally before we start, real quick, thank you guys all very much for sort of enjoying this sort of Sammy Samosa phenomenon that we're dealing with here. I see a lot of people supporting us and stuff like that. So we very much appreciate that. I see Mr. Ludacris is here. He made a fantastic video, so make sure to check that out when you get the chance. Shout out to Mr. Ludacris. So again, thank you guys all very much for your support. I'm glad that you guys are having fun with this Sammy Samosa stuff and enjoying it. I'm also glad that he finally put out a video, showed who he was, and demonstrated that that isn't Che, because there was like a person or two that thought that was Che for some reason. So glad we finally got that cleared up.
And let me tell you something. You know how that's not Che? Number one, I don't have Abraham Lincoln mutton chops. And number two, that guy looks like he pushes 200 pounds. So if you're juicing, man, and you got a discount on a product, you might as well stay away from the Hostess and the Twinkies and shit like that. But it's not Team Che, it's not Team Fred, it's Team Chat. So we appreciate you guys being here. So thank you very much for the support and ripping him a new one in the comments.
Team Chat.
Jesus Christ.
I don't have time for a 4-hour Let's Endure. Let's just shoot the shit.
And shoot the shit is what we're about to do. So, without much further ado, let's switch over. And gentlemen, are you prepared?
Ready as we'll ever be.
Yep.
Let's do this. Let's just shoot the shit.
Yeah. What the fuck is this music? Oh god.
Is this his own pre-stream?
This is already terrible.
This is his music to start with. I'm going to turn this down a little bit. This is ridiculous.
Can you stop this real quick?
Sure.
Okay. Number one, I see that, someone else other than Phil needs one of Leanna's training bras. Number two, all right? Number two, I know that you wasn't talking shit about my appearance, Sammy Samosa. I was expecting you to look at least a little bit more intimidating like this, okay? You look like the local guy that's a cart pusher at Walmart. And no disrespect to anyone, because I was a cart pusher. And number two, I do landscaping. I'll let you borrow one of my weed whacks so you can get rid of whatever the fuck is on the side of your face.
He's got like one of those Saints Row number 3 beards and shit.
Oh no, it's like the freaking one of the old ass RuneScape character creators, like the first ever character creator, and they just had like just a piece of shit on the side of the face if you wanted to get a beard.
Oh my goodness, you see those fucking pants too? He's got the same fit as like a 50-year-old lady with them fucking pants. They're like skinny jeans, but they're not. They're like tubby
Like-
jeans. When he wears them shits, they're fucking tubby jeans.
His legs
I know.
are too skinny for skinny jeans.
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason why his back is up against the wall because if he turns around, you see a giant fucking split in the middle of his pants.
This guy is wearing one of the worst T-shirts ever, even conceived. Look at that shit. It's paper towel thin. It's tissue thin. That fucking shirt. All right. He's got some sort of turquoise shirt under it, and to be honest with you, the way that Darkside Phil signed that shit, it looks like it looks the way like you would put that on your towel at the YMCA so somebody doesn't steal it, or at the beach or something. It looks like you'd put that on there so it doesn't get stolen.
You know what that shirt looks like? It looks like he had a box, like in the past 5 years in his grandma's basement. And he just went inside his grandma's basement, grabbed one of them crusty-ass boxes, and took that shirt out. That thing needs the biggest iron in the world. I don't even think a dryer and washer can save that. That should have been thrown in the trash.
Like, okay,
I think. Go ahead.
even with the signature, like, what the fuck? Like, even, like, how can you get a shirt like that and then support the signatures? Like, that's just fucking awful from Phil.
Honestly, I think King Tut wore that 4,000 years ago. Just saying.
By the way, where is he? That doesn't look like a house. It's like a red door, like a blue frame. That looks like some brick to the side, like red carpeting. This looks like a doctor's office or some shit. Like he went to go get checked out for the fucking clap or something and fucking thought he was feeling fly. So he took a picture. I'd also like to point out, back to those fucking tubby pants. You see how he's got his 2 thumbs in his pockets? That's about all he can fit, that those pants are so fucking tight at that point. That's all the pocket he's got.
I mean, it kind of, if you're over a certain weight, I think, the term skinny jeans doesn't apply to you or anything like that. Man, goddamn. I mean, do they have like a giant discount on Hostess and Twinkies at Whole Foods or something?
Shit, I don't know. This motherfucker is the first dude I ever seen shaped like a pear.
I don't know, just like...
He looks like the Unabomber. He
Yeah.
really does. I think, that's the type of guy you call the cops on as soon as he walks in any public place.
He does too.
Oh my god.
God damn it. Well, anyways, in addition, his feet are like invisible. His shoes are like the exact same color as they're like very, very black. So congratulations on that. That's pretty good. But shit, man, those are some goddamn Mounties fucking pants. He looks like Dudley Do-Right wearing them shits.
Yeah, it looks like
Jesus
Patrick's
Christ.
pants.
They look like fucking bloomers hanging on a fucking clothesline and shit in the wind. Ugh.
Yeah.
Looks like, hey, look, this picture almost looks photoshopped. As a matter of fact.
You know one word that's never going to match with them pants and him? A belt.
Yo, this kid needed to get the belt when he was younger, because he got this fucking attitude and shit. Phew. All right. So anything else on this preliminary roast before we get into
I'm sorry.
We didn't even start yet. We're 20 seconds in.
He looks like a faggot.
Here's the last
That's all
thing.
I'm gonna say.
Here's the last thing I'll say again with the Saints Row theme. He looks like a fucking preset character on Saints Row when you buy all the cheapest fucking clothing in the fucking game.
Hey, you know what? He looks like one of the fat guys from the cutscene in Saints Row 1, right in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. So there you go.
I don't even know. Like, why the fuck is he opening it with this picture?
I think he thought he was tough. He's got his chin
my
poked
God.
up.
I know who he looks like.
What's
He
up?
looks like a fatter version of Postal Dude from Postal 2.
Oh my god, he looks like a fucking generic enemy in a third-person shooter. I killed about 17 of these in Max Payne 3.
Oh, man.
Well,
Oh,
anyways, so there's the there's the reveal. So again, my deepest and most genuine appreciation goes out to Mr. Samosa for showing himself, showing that he exists, and doing a video on his long established channel that proves that he was real. Because I'll be honest with you, while that shit was going on, I thought it was going to be difficult to believe that shit was real. But there you go, Mr. Sammy Samosa. Gentlemen, can we continue?
Yeah, let's
All right.
get through.
So God, Reverend, if you're
Birthday
listening,
today.
happy birthday.
Why does he sound like
to
he's
you.
recording a suicide
Now
note?
let's get down to
Oh, hold
business.
on. Pause it.
The
Pause it a
difference
moment.
between
Alright.
me and you.
So God Revan's birthday. When was that exactly?
That was on the 27th. This was finally released on the 28th.
That means that he procrastinated this entire time and just did it yesterday.
Well, if you remember correctly, he was trying to upload this on the Whole Foods Wi-Fi connection, and it took him, according to his screenshots, according to what he's shown, it took him 13 hours to put this up.
I still think that he did it yesterday, though. I mean, recorded it and did all that procrastinating and everything. I mean, it's just... Already you're off to a bad start, Sammy.
13
Already.
hours?
Mhm.
You mean all that time at the library and you couldn't read one book?
Mm-hmm.
You got to get that milestone one of these days, man.
We'll see.
13 hours was 1 gig.
You're very low, Fizz, if you could turn yourself up just a teeny bit.
All right, how's that?
Better.
I'm good, right?
Perfect.
All right.
What do you think now, Fizz?
I'm good.
Perfect. All right. What were you saying now?
No, it's like 13 hours and took him a gig. I'm like, what the? How do you even find internet that fucking slow?
I'll tell you again, he was using the fucking Whole Foods Wi-Fi, man. They're here to provide quality organic fruits, not Wi-Fi. They don't want to encourage people to loaf around in the store. You know what I mean? They want people to get up and out and active. And, you know, by having terrible Wi-Fi, that sort of encourages that people don't loaf around and, so, you know, sort of solicit or what's the other word for that? Loiter. They don't want them to loiter in their stores.
Man, 10 to 1, I bet you this is the type of guy that was walking around with his laptop back and forth in McDonald's parking lot trying to get the strongest Wi-Fi signal. 13 hours.
Their Wi-Fi
From
is
dusk till
organic.
dawn.
Their Wi-Fi is organic. They got a hamster running on a wheel. All right, let's continue.
Fred, I don't need 50 episodes to expose someone. I'm gonna do it in just one.
Okay.
So let's take a look at his Twitter, shall we?
All right. Wow, I love the green night vision.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, look at
Jesus.
this.
That's fucking awful.
This is a joke.
This is a joke.
He says, aspiring content creator,
Mhm.
part-time wordsmith,
Yes.
blah blah blah.
Oh, you couldn't read the rest of
Aspiring
it?
content creator of what? What content do you have? You have no original content. You've been aspiring for how many years now?
About
You're
one.
still aspiring after all these years?
All these years.
I mean,
been
it's
one.
nothing but retweets.
Oh.
What, this? This is your original content?
This is so bad.
Hey,
Nothing
you know what?
but
Hold on. Let me
DSP.
pause. Hold on. If you look right over here, you got the Keyboard Cat. That was completely original. You got Stone Cold Steve Lester, which was completely original. You got Loophole playing basketball, which was completely original. You got the fucking Staycation with the Mortal Kombat Fatality, which was completely original. I had to do that from scratch. The SOK intro.
Spell and beat video.
The DSP debate where I promoted you and him doing the debate, the promo. As a matter of fact, just on this screen alone, there's a lot of original content. In addition, the Being a Man Part 2, a lot of people enjoyed the heavy editing on that one with the dancing and all that kind of stuff. There's
that
Loophole
was great.
ripping up a game. So just on this page alone, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 original pieces of content just on that. So I you know, I mean, there's some original content there. I don't know what he's looking at. He picked a bad. Maybe he just picked a bad page. Maybe the rest of it is all whatever he claims it to be. All right, let's continue.
No surprise there. Hell, Panda Lee has more original content than you.
Ooh.
That's soap.
That's
Like it or
soap.
It's more original.
Now that's out of the way, I want to bring up Fred's most embarrassing moment to date.
Oh.
Of course, I'm referring to the debate. He tried to take the polite route. He tried to be the nice guy and respectful. But with
Okay, I need to pause that real quick. So, for the first, I'd say hour, I gave him every opportunity to express ideas, to come up with different things. I gave him the floor to start with. I don't see how this is a strike against me, that I treated him like a human being and that I showed him some sort of decency to this debate that he was pretty dismissive and disrespectful towards the entire time. So, I don't know. I just feel like I conducted a debate. There were people watching that were interested in me sort of getting to the bottom of this and taking the challenge seriously, because that's the thing. I mean, the reason why he was on the podcast is because he challenged me to a debate, and I felt as though it would only be appropriate for me to take it seriously, the same way I did with Das Bullshit, to prepare for it and to take it as a credible challenge that he's going to come on and to debate me. Like, that's not my fault that he ended up being a colossal idiot. I mean, I don't know how that's my fault. By the end of it, after about an hour, then I started to sort of, joke around with him a little bit more and sort of, start to get at him a little more. But I gave him every opportunity to start. So,
over 400 some people watching,
yes.
What it actually looked like was Fred getting sunned. No pun intended.
Sunned?
Yeah.
He got sunned on his own podcast. He tried to insult my job, but it's not really an insult. It's more of a compliment.
Okay.
At least Sammy Samosa 67 has a job.
Oh.
That's right. I don't actually think Fred has a job, because when I asked him, he told me he sells cell phones.
Oh.
At what? The mall? You didn't tell me the company he worked for.
Oh, okay.
Is it Sprint? Verizon?
Oh, okay.
Or T-Mobile? Since
okay.
you're all about proof, I want proof of employment.
All right, quick pause. I'm glad that I have the
God.
space bar here for that. And this is a good point to pause at with the Whole Foods going on here. All right. So I asked him where he worked, and he said where he worked, but he didn't show any proof. He didn't ask me for any proof. First of all, you can't say that, this guy, he didn't give me proof what I didn't even ask for. All he did, he just asked me if I had a job. Told him, yeah. He asked me what I did. He didn't say where, any of that other shit. Now, here's the thing. All right, people know where the city and state that I live in, that I, am associated with. It doesn't do me any good to narrow it down so that people can try to mess with my employment. This guy would be calling up my job and trying to tell him, I sunned them and all this other shit. And they'd probably get annoyed by it after a while, and they'd be like, hey, listen, man, we're going to try to transfer you somewhere else or some shit. So, it doesn't do any good to get into specifics. But, here's the thing. If I was going to lie, I would come up with something much more grandiose, right? I would say that I do something that is grander than selling cell phones. I don't see how that is some sort of lie, and what sort of agenda I would have to lie about that. So, but yeah, it's a pretty good gig while I'm getting through grad school. So, anyways, let's hear about Whole Foods.
So there's my proof.
Okay, that's not
And
proof.
hat.
That's a
it's your
fucking hat.
turn now,
It's a hat.
Fred.
That's a hat. I
It's
thought it
your
was a
turn
backpack from that
To
angle.
show your proof of employment.
I mean, I have a hat with a Batman symbol. That makes me Batman, so...
That's right.
Whole
Fred
Foods.
Fox also hides behind his Tony Montana avatar.
Okay.
He's never gonna show himself. He told me on the debate that he has hundreds, if not thousands, of quote-unquote friends.
When did I say that?
What's the point of all that if they don't even know what you look like? At least me, K Gallion, and Phil.
Oh
we have the
wait,
balls to
pause
show-
that.
All right.
I can't believe it. He actually got the name K Gallion correctly.
That was pretty good.
He didn't say K Jillian again. I'm actually surprised by that. I'll give him props on that. Good for you. That's the only bit of prop that I'm ever going to give you throughout this podcast. Only bit.
Let me sort of take on this idea real quick. So he's saying that because people don't know what I look like, that these people aren't my friends. Now, number one, we all like went on camera and stuff in a private call a while ago, so we all know what each other look like. That's something completely separate. But let's look at the inverse. A lot of people know what KG looks like, and no one would really consider them a friend of his. I mean, that hasn't done anything for him, has it? I mean, people know what he looks like. They end up putting him on horse porn and stuff like that. It hasn't really benefited him very much. Maybe you guys are friends, but I mean,
Where does he get that fucking logic? Like, the only way you could be friends is if you know what you look like.
special friends. You know what I mean? They have to be physically attracted to me and stuff. For me, you know, that's you know, by seeing me, they're gonna make a decision based entirely on my appearance, whether they're my friends or not. Which, you know, based on this image, I'm pretty sure he doesn't have any fucking friends. All right, moving on.
Ourselves. You want to talk about true, actual friendship? Where I come from, it's not a friendship until you have met in person.
Okay, I need to pause that shit. So what is he talking about? Tinder or some sort of fucking Match.com, and you're not friends until you officially see each other? What kind of shit is that?
And he's still gonna put like KG and Phil as his true friends. When the fuck has he ever met KG or Phil?
Yeah.
The answer in his dreams.
So let me ask this: Did he not? So anybody that he knew on the internet before he revealed himself here, which to my knowledge, this is the first time we're seeing him. So anybody that he knew before, they weren't his friends because they couldn't see him. Is that fair?
Fair enough.
All
Pretty
right.
much.
So Sammy's just made a whole lot of new friends by posting his image. All right.
Let me give you a perfect example. The Airy Lord and P Dog. As much as I don't like them,
Oh, okay.
they are genuine
Okay.
friends.
Oh,
I don't think anyone can argue with that.
No.
They went out there and took their fairy tale friendship to the next level.
so the next. Okay, pause.
Fairy tale friendship. Okay.
What the fuck does that mean? They took it to the next level. What, they're going steady now? What the fuck are you trying to say?
Well, I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to say that they have a little thing going on in the background that no one knows about. You
Oh
know.
my god.
Wink.
I mean, is Sammy writing like Phil fans fan fiction? I don't even know what the fuck he means with this.
Jesus
If you're doing that shit, you better stay the fuck away from me.
Oh my god. What the fuck, man? Oh, they took it to the next level. They met each other in person. Cool. A lot of people in all sorts of communities meet each other in person. That doesn't invalidate the friendship that they have. They talk to each other. You know what? You can have friends. You talk to them on the phone. You're still friends with them. There's no... they took it to the next level. That's ridiculous. All right.
Basically,
fairy tale
what I'm
friendship.
saying is, Fred Fox is an anonymous character. He lives in his own fantasy empire.
Oh,
In this segment, I will
there's
discuss the
segments.
rest of the Stooges.
oh.
Not much to say here, so I'll keep it
okay.
short. Retrospective PC.
Ah, shit.
Oh,
I won't say too much because I have a feeling I'm gonna deal with him sometime in the future.
Hey,
Ooh.
pause.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think the most immediate thing he needs to work on is probably a treadmill or maybe a crash diet. You know, something like that, or maybe some of that juice that you do whatever at Whole Foods. You need to lay off the dollar menu at McDonald's. Number one, whatever. I'm not even gonna take that as a threat. It's whatever. I don't hit mentally challenged people. So, two, I'm not gonna be intimidated by a guy who stutters every 3 words. It's like his mind can't comprehend anything past 4 words. You notice that he goes, "Hey, what eat?" Or like he has a little pause here and there. I mean, I don't understand. Even my goddaughter could speak more than 5 words at a time. This guy's brain starts freezing up after 2 words. And God forbid it's a word that's more than 6 characters, because this guy's head will explode.
I've had people give advice that if you're going to watch this, put it at 1.5 speed so that he actually sounds normal.
Yeah. So he can stop sounding like he has fucking Alzheimer's.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it at 1.5 speed because that would make it fucking hysterical.
Yeah. Or maybe even 2, just to see him rambling on.
All right.
I don't know, man. He says we're going to meet again. What are you going to meet again? And with all that bullshit, you better not write a fucking fan fiction about me.
He wants you guys to take it to the next level.
All right, well, I mean, you can stay the fuck away from me then. Get a training brawl. Lose some weight.
Jesus.
Get rid of those pants. Get the mutton chops off. Stop looking like the Unabomber. Stop looking like a white terrorist.
There you
Stop
go.
looking like you're in the trench coat mafia. Stop looking like you're about to shoot up a school.
Jesus.
How about that?
Just shoot.
All right. So now that he's been completely slandered from head to toe, let us continue.
Does sound disgruntled. Part of that may be because of me, and I can understand. I can totally understand. But he shouldn't be mad at me. He should be mad at his captain. You see, during the debate, yes, I took some shots at Retro. I did mean what I said, but mostly I wanted to see if Fred would back him up and defend him. Instead of defending him, he laughed with me. He laughed.
Oh, here we go. Footage.
I'm talking specifically.
Very low.
I can't hear it.
Nobody gives retro. Nobody gives a fuck about old games from 2015.
I can't hear it at all.
People want to play the new shit. Why would you laugh at that?
Okay,
See, that just
pause it
proves
real
my
quick.
point that
All
Fred
right.
Fox does.
Paused.
Okay, based on that footage, going with what he has right now, he said what he needed to say, and he paused it immediately after. So even in his own fucking fucked up logic, he didn't even show you laughing at the video. So that completely invalidates any point he was trying to make.
I heard that so from this clip and from my memory, he brought up something about Che. I laughed in terms of how ridiculous this was, that he's talking about a guy that's not even there. He went out of his way to say, we are going to do a one-on-one debate. It's not going to be anybody else involved in this. And then he starts talking about Che from a distance. I was just sort of laughing out of just partially disbelief, partially because I just couldn't, I couldn't take it seriously. And, just to sort of express how ridiculous this was. And the other thing, too, nothing he said made any sense. He said, at least I have a business card, bitch. What, I'm supposed to debate him on that he does or does not? Nothing that he said actually could have gotten any sort of response from me. Che's an adult. Che can handle himself, and he did. As soon as he came on, he addressed whatever he felt like addressing. I don't see how this was something, and I'm sure that he wants to start to, his goal in this, and as we'll see later on, talking about people being minions and working for me, he wants to create tension between people. He wants people to buy into this narrative. He wants Che to get upset. He wants people that are my friends to get upset. He wants to stir up shit. This is what the goal is. He knows that.
Did you say minion?
He says minions. Yes.
Well, I hope that he doesn't view me as a minion in his eyes, because he looked like he ate about 10 of them, and I don't want some cannibal trying to eat me.
Oh man.
I didn't know that. I didn't know Minions were food at Whole Foods, but yeah, it's just this guy is stupid. I can't believe this shit. I mean, can you imagine this guy trying to talk shit to you? I mean, he's gonna be yelling at you from far away and stopping every 2 or 3 words because he's getting confused. This guy couldn't even say refer right. He said referer like he's a fucking referee or some shit like that. I don't know. I don't know if this guy is retarded or he's a troll or he's mentally challenged. Whatever the hell it is, he needs something. I mean,
Che,
he needs a divine intervention to get rid of that fucking stuttering problem, whatever the fuck it is. I don't even think it's a stuttering problem. It's his brain stutters. It's ridiculous. I'm kind of confused by this guy.
just to address something, he doesn't talk shit, Che. He shoots it. So,
Well, I mean, looked like he shoots a couple of Twinkies into that little juicer of his, and you know.
Then he shoots into his sack.
Yep.
Let's sort of close with this on this segment. Is that I guess this is a segment. Again, his attempt, because this was supposed to be and advertised during the debate that he was supposed to show all the proof. This was supposed to be like his citations for all the claims that he made on the debate. And essentially what he's doing here is he's just making up a bunch of new shit to try to like get one over on us, slander us. And I took a lot of it, apparently, from my first watch through of this. But his secondary motive seems to be to try to like damage the community by getting people to dislike me, getting people to dislike the SOK, getting people to dislike each other, and to make people feel devalued. Oh, you know, calling people all sorts of names and minions and stooges and stuff like that. It's just to try to, you know, rattle a few cages on his way out, because he says this is his one and only, and we'll see about that. But all right.
Yeah, one thing I did want to say though.
Yes, sir.
Something that Chase said. The minions from Whole Foods. Yeah, those minions are a whole meal. Yeah, those. Yeah, eating about 10. I'd say he ate more like 16.
Well, you know, at least Sammy can say one thing, that he's a genocidal maniac because minions are extinct because he ate them all. I mean, he looks like an overgrown minion if you think about it. An overgrown minion with a mutton chop. It makes no fucking sense.
There you go.
Let us continue.
Give no fucks. Besides, Fred fucks. He doesn't care about his quote-unquote friends. Wake up, people. I know you're a little young to realize it now, but when you get older, you're gonna see that all he was doing was just using you guys. As long as you're servicing him in some way or fashion, he's gonna be nice to you.
I'm sick and tired. Can you pause that real quick?
Yes, sir.
Real quick. Listen, okay, if you swing that way, that's perfectly fine. But can you just not force your beliefs on everyone else? Why is everyone always taking things to the next level and servicing other people? Man, if you swing that way, that's perfectly fine. Do what you got to do. But can you stop forcing your fucking beliefs on everyone else? Can you stop imagining shit? And if you're thinking that shit about me, please get it out of your head right now. Please don't ever say anything about me like that, servicing anyone or anything like that again.
Hey.
Can you just please get that shit out your head?
Hey, he's trying to take it to the next. Again, he's trying to take it to the next level, man. I'm telling you.
You don't see me forcing my beliefs on. I'm sitting there telling people that they're magically hooking up in my head. What the fuck is this? What the hell? What is this, General Hospital? He's got a fucking soap opera going on in his head 24/7, and we're all the characters?
Probably. I mean, he's writing that fan fiction. He already wrote one about P-Dog and Area Lord, so...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, and their fucking fairy friendship.
Listen, and if you got my picture on your fucking computer, you better delete that shit.
Hey, that's the
you
biggest
better-
mistake you ever made, man. That's why he wants our pictures, man.
Hey, no spank bank, no none of that shit. You better turn the other way and run on that treadmill and get those fucking dirty thoughts out of your head about people hooking up and all this shit. You need to get the fuck out of here.
Oof.
Jesus.
Take a lawnmower to the side of your fucking face, because that's the only way you're going to get them fucking mutton chops off. It looked like he had food stuck in that bitch, like a whole bunch of flies gathering around. He just took a giant shit on his face.
He's gonna need some of those giant shears to cut that shit off. A
Hey,
lawnmower won't
It's
do
the
it.
worst fucking beard ever. Like, listen, if you can only grow like 4 little hairs every like 2 weeks or something on the side of the patch, and they patch up and shit, and you're looking like that. Can you just please shave it off because it's disgusting, and you probably get food caught on it because you look dirty, and that shirt looks wrinkly, and that pair of pants look like something that your mom got you when you were 15, and you never lost any weight since then.
Oh,
Just get rid of your whole attire, man.
yeah. I mean, besides that shirt, everything else he looks like he's had since fucking grade school, you know? Well, that's how it goes in the world of Sammy Samosa, the Packy Prince. Let's continue.
As long as you're kind of working for him. You know, you may not realize it now, but you will soon.
All right, I need to pause that before he continues on with his thought because he apparently changed the picture back. So, all right. So this notion that if people are working for me, I'm going to be nice to them and shit like that. What do how do people work for me? Like, I don't understand what people do for me. Like, as a group, we put out a Google Doc where we ask people if they'd like to basically tell us what they want to hear us talk about, which is literally us just trying to tailor the show to the people that are going to listen to it, right? We don't want to be disconnected from the people that are listening to it at the end of the day or watching it. We want to know what they want to hear about. That's literally the only thing I can think of on a regular basis that not even just me, but as a group, we ask people to do. And I don't see how that exactly just serves us. We do that for everyone. Helps us, helps the people that are watching it, helps new people if they want to get, some sort of idea in there. So, I mean, that,
Well, you see, that's people working for you. I mean, that's free labor. They're all suckers.
I don't know. That again, it's just this idea of trying to weaken the community. You know what I mean? Try to get people upset at each other. Oh, there might be just one person that thinks like, oh, he's right. Yeah, Fred's had me working like a slave or something. I don't know what he's thinking, but he's maybe thinking he could reach out to at least just one person and get them to be like, yeah, you know what? Fuck Fred. He fucking treats us like minions or some shit like that. But I don't know. I don't see anything that I outright demand people to do. Like, I asked people, and we'll get to that because I know exactly what he's gonna say. But anything else on this train of thought before we move on? Beautiful. Let's go.
Move on.
What's worse is he laughed again 1 week later after the stupid spelling bee. The spelling bee thing was a setup to make Fred look smarter and superior.
What?
He did Retro dirty.
Oh yeah.
He played him dirty just like I played Fred dirty at the debate.
All right, pause.
I can't take him seriously any time that he says that he beat you in the debate. That it was a clear landslide that you beat him. I don't understand his logic.
He said it wasn't a debate. Like, he keeps saying, like, oh, it is a debate. It's not a debate. It's shooting the shit. It's not shooting the shit. It's standing on our heads.
Make up your fucking mind, Sammy. Jesus Christ, you have us all confused.
Dude, if it was a debate, then it would have been a debate then and then a debate now. You can't change it and say, all right, well, I challenge you to a debate. Now that I'm at the debate, live on the air, with no notice, well, it's not a debate. We're just shooting the shit so that, I don't know, I go easy on him or some shit. And then, after the fact, I fucked him up in that debate, son. You're the one that made it not a debate. I prepared for the debate. I accepted a challenge for a debate. You showed up and didn't participate in a debate. And now after the fact, you're saying that you wrecked me in a debate. I don't understand that.
It's amazing, just his train of thought, because he's gonna do it as long as he thinks he's winning. He's gonna say whatever he wants to ensure that, oh, I got the upper hand.
Yeah. Well, this is an idea that we're gonna explore, but just to sort of give you what I'm thinking and what I've thought for a while, is that he's obviously trolling. Che's been saying this since day one, so we'll give Che recognition on this. He said that he's been trolling since the very beginning. But here's the thing. even if he's trolling, right? Even if this whole thing, elaborate troll and stuff like that, it has been an awesome thing for the community. Whenever this idiot does something, people get excited. People are making jokes. People are on Twitter joking about it. People showing up to the stream to watch him embarrass himself. Memes coming out of it. Whole Foods, shoot the shit. Like, this guy, if he thinks that his trolling has actually like negatively affected the community, it actually did the opposite. This whole thing about, Fred got all his stooges and minions. All these people have been joking around with me and stuff like that. I've had some people that I haven't talked to before, or maybe not met yet, reach out to me and talk about, I'm one of your minions and stooges. It's been a joke. It's been this fantastic thing in the community. Sammy, you've actually brought people closer together. I would dare say that.
And not in the way you think about.
And gave people a common ground to laugh at you. So thank you, actually. If you're trying to troll us, thank you for that. Because the week of the podcast was exciting and fun. This week has been exciting and fun. This stream is exciting and fun. So thank you. If that's what you're doing. Because you did everybody here in this community a favor. Moving on.
The difference here is Fred is not my friend.
Oh. Because you don't know what I look like.
Fast fuck.
Oh.
He is the mascot of the anti-DSP community.
Okay then.
That's all. He's just.
Can you just you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Where have I stated that I'm a mascot of the anti-DSP community? Where have I ever said that? Please, if anyone wants to go out and find that, please let me know where I've said that, because I'm pretty sure that I don't go around with my SOK fan shirt and my SOK #1 fan mug everywhere yelling "Go Team." I'm pretty sure that I don't do that. I do this, but I don't do that. No. First, fuck you, Sammy. You don't know what you are talking about. I am definitely not a mascot. And I am definitely more superior than you will ever be.
Ooh.
You are just fucking jealous. No, wait. Now I'm playing the DSP card. Yeah. Yeah. I'm getting way too into this.
He's also named Freddy, so that makes him Fred Jr.
That is,
No,
yeah,
I
he
get
is
it.
my son. Now, we want to get that clear. That is my son.
Yeah.
Also,
Definitely.
I find it interesting that he decided to single out me of all people. Usually people tend to go after Fred, Che, Alice, those kinds of people when they want to make a point. Not me. This is honestly the first time I've ever been called out by someone in the pro DSP community. I've never had this happen to me. So it's surprising how he sees me as the mascot of all things and not anything else. I mean, I don't see myself as a mascot. I'm not related to Fred or anything. The name Freddy Fazfuck is actually a joke between friends of mine. It's not made to be some sort of thing off of Fred's name. For any misconceptions about that, the Freddy Fazfuck thing is actually a joke that I had with friends back last year, actually. And this whole... The funny thing is, I wasn't actually supposed to be given that name. I have different names with other people, so since Freddy Fazfuck was my Skype name, it's just kind of stuck with it. It's not anything related to Fred or anything. I'm my own person. We all contribute. The end.
Thank you, son. That's fantastic. Now, back in the mascot costume, we need you out there in front of the store.
Go team.
Beautiful.
It sounded so hurt.
That was very nice. But yeah, I don't understand how you're a mascot. If anything, God, I don't even know who would be our fucking mascot. Che would be a great mascot. We can have like a logo of Che and shit, crossing his arms, like fucking, looking pissed off and shit. I don't know, something like that. Che would be the fucking representation of the squad.
Nah, it's a team effort.
Look at people in the chat like it. They like, the SO Che. You know what I mean?
No, it's that's okay. Ain't about one person.
Gerfreckle.
I don't like
How about
that
that? Now,
shit.
some people are saying Gerfreckle. That's pretty good too.
Yeah, that's pretty better.
Garfamild could be the well, you know, the little fox thing. That's pretty good. But yeah, we'll continue on.
Pawn to make Fred look better than he actually is. Moogle. Moogle is the receptionist of the anti-DSP community.
Oh,
He gets all the files ready,
Huh.
sends the files, answers calls.
what the fuck?
That's what he's good for.
Okay.
Everybody else in the SOK are not even worth mentioning
Oh,
because
Can I pause real
I
quick?
hardly
Yes.
even remember.
Mogul, you're my friend. I love you, buddy. But you see what happens when you have a girl representing yourself as an avatar everywhere.
Yeah.
You're gonna some retard is actually gonna think you're a girl, all right, and actually think you're a secretary.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, but if anything, it's really Alice that does the docs and shit. So he has entirely fucked up yet again
Now,
on who is.
I just want to clarify something.
everything.
Is that Freddie Fastfuck said that she does the Google Docs, not the doxing or docs or anything like that. So
Yeah, okay.
before Sammy fucking chops that into a sound clip and or some shit like that, Alice helps us tremendously with the Google Docs. As a matter of fact, if we want to talk about that kind of shit, Alice came around a few months ago and she offered to help us with the docs and the Google Docs. And since then, she's been incredibly helpful with that. But for, I think, 30 or 40 episodes, I did that by myself. I managed all the docs and stuff like that. And yeah, so to be completely honest with you, I was, quote unquote, doing my own dirty work in that sense of
Well,
that.
At the end of the day, everyone helps out. So there's no like receptionist or anything like that. Everyone helps out. So there's no titles for anybody.
Well, no, I just want to attack this notion that people do my dirty work, because that's a big part of his point here, and I just want to sort of stress, like, number one, there is no dirty work, but number two, any sort of like efforts or contributions, people contribute what they want to, and in a lot of cases, I've taken an initiative to do a lot of stuff that I wanted to do. So, you know, there's no like people telling people. I don't think I've ever told anyone or commanded someone to go do shit. Like, I don't know. All right, moving on.
Remember them. Although I will say, I have no problem against them, against the Stooges.
Oh.
Personally, there's no problem. They're just following orders. I get it. They are just following orders.
Look at this.
Okay.
Look at this
So
beautiful
in this
picture.
next segment, we're going to discuss Minions.
Okay.
Minions is everybody else in the anti-DSP community that's not in the bums of Kojima. They do all the grunt work. Fred knows this, and he expects them to do the dirty work for him. He told me on the podcast he doesn't tell anyone what to do. Let's take a look.
I have control over nobody. I honestly have no control over anyone in this community. I can give people congratulations when they.
I can't hear it.
Yeah, his audio
awesome
work
stuff,
is very
but
bad.
I can't command people to do anything.
Is that a laptop?
I have no
And
idea.
here he is in that same episode telling someone what to do.
Okay. Somebody timestamp that for me, please. You guys on YouTube, you guys in the stream, please timestamp for this for me. Thank you.
You just told them what to do.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. So saying please and thank you and asking people if they could possibly timestamp it just for the simple sake of convenience. This isn't like a big deal or anything. I could have went back and found it when I'm editing it. I could have found it myself. Mainly it was a joke. Like, yes, it's nice if somebody would have timestamped it for me, but part of asking that was to be a joke, because what he said was, oh, if you guys take out DSP, I'll come back on the podcast and say that you are a legend like Solid Snake and shit like that. And the joke was, I'm going to hold you accountable to that. Somebody please timestamp it. So it wasn't like just flat out, hey, go do this for me. It was, I'm making a joke to you, Sammy, that I'm holding you accountable for you saying that you're going to come on the podcast later. I wanted to convey to him that I'm going to hold him to that. And B, I said, please and thank you. It would be convenient if somebody could look at, what the timestamp is and send that in. It would be nice. But the thing is, because it was a Hitbox live broadcast, you're not really going to get an accurate timestamp. This isn't like YouTube. So the people that were there live that I was joking with to give that request to, if you want to put it that way, they wouldn't have been able to because they're looking on Hitbox. There's no accurate depiction of time on Hitbox. And on YouTube, they could have easily just seen, okay, it's 1 hour, 32 minutes when he says that. Here's the timestamp. So this idea of like work and labor and stuff like that, for A, to do it tongue-in-cheek as a joke, and B, to do it just to fuck with him, like, hey, do you remember this clip? Makes no sense. And if that's his evidence of me bossing people around with pleases and thank yous, that he's got a tough road to hoe on that one.
You know what I find interesting? During that whole debate, he was like, wait till my proof. And then the podcast comes with his proof, and it was the debate.
Yeah. This was supposed to be the citations for all those claims that he took a rain check on. Oh, well, you know what? I'm thinking about going back on the podcast and putting together a compilation of all the loose ends that he was supposed to tie up with this podcast that he didn't. But he ended up just starting a bunch of new strings of consciousness. He started just creating new avenues of, well, these guys are what I say they are. They're pieces of shit because this, and that. And none of it did, honestly, in any point, did he really like express these things? I mean, that wasn't a central argument that he was trying to say, like I boss people around or anything on the debate. Not that I remember. But all right, I digress. Anything else on this before we move on? Beautiful. Let's go.
Here's a few examples of popular minions, such as Evil AJ 2010.
Oh.
Now, let me give you an example of how Fred
It's the night vision.
uses people. You see this guy right here?
Uh-huh.
Now, I may not like him, and trust me, I don't like his content. But he is the original This Is How You Don't Play creator. He does have 1 million views. So, why the fuck does this guy, why is his Twitter handle at This Is How You Don't Play when it should be his?
All right.
You see what I'm saying?
All right, hold on.
This guy is trying to take ownership and credit for...
He mentions that my Twitter handle is at TIHYDP. He feels as though that should be AJ's Twitter handle, and that by doing that, I'm actually going and using him as a minion and trying to use all of his work for myself. So, first of all, if AJ wanted at TIHYDP, he probably would have grabbed at TIHYDP. The reason why I grabbed at TIHYDP was for two reasons. Number one, I was a fan of the series. And number two, I needed something because this account was going to be an account specifically for the DSP stuff. I wanted something that I could use as an account, as a name that would convey the Phil stuff. And I didn't want to do like a clone account, like the personality accounts and stuff like that. Even though those are good, That's just not my style of humor specifically. I didn't think that I would do good at that, playing a role as like a specific like Phil character personality. Again, I like those. I do. Those are great. But for me, it just wouldn't have worked, in my opinion, for the way that I like to interact and do that kind of stuff. So I used @TIHYDB. It was available. I was actually surprised that it was available as a Twitter handle. Fred Fucks wasn't. A bunch of different variations of Fred Fucks wasn't. And I didn't want to do like Fred underscore Fucks real or like any variations of it. All the stuff with Fred Fucks was pretty much taken. So I settled on @TIHYDP. And yeah, that's how I arrived at that. As far as trying to take AJ's work, I couldn't do that if I tried. People know AJ for his This Is How You Don't Plays. He's known as the person who created This Is How You Don't Plays. Nobody would be able to do that. Not just in this community, but in general. You know, nobody would be able to go on there and, you know, try to take credit for that or to, you know, do any of that kind of stuff. That's just ridiculous. Again, just trying to get people upset at each other, which is just kind of sad in my opinion. But yeah, me and AJ, we're good friends. He's not a minion. I respect him immensely. As a matter of fact, I want to go on the record. I think I've said this before publicly, but I want to again say, I can't express to you how much respect I have for AJ, because despite having some of the most successful DSP-related videos, despite having a Twitter following and respect widespread from this community, he'd never let it get to his head. He's always treated people with respect. You don't know how many times in Skype calls we'd invite new people into the Skype group. I was one of these people that saw AJ for the first time and was kind of like, oh, wow, that's AJ. Like, felt kind of nervous interacting with them for the first time. And he never acts that way. He never treats people that way. He never acts as though he's popular or bigger than people. He's always been down to earth. He's always been a real person. So I can't say enough how much I respect that guy. And he's one of the truly great people in this community. I'm proud to call him a friend. And to say like, oh, he's, you know, a minion of his, or that I'm trying to use the guy, it's completely false. And I don't know. I don't want to get too wound up about it, but I don't know. It's just kind of disrespectful to both of us. But that's what he's trying to do, you know?
Yeah, I think you said it perfectly.
All right.
He's just trying to separate us, and it's obviously it's not going to work. So I don't know what he's doing at this point.
Mm-hmm. If he can have any sort of impact, that would be his. This sort of kamikaze style. You know, I'm going to try to make some sort of impact in this sort of way, you know? But,
Right.
All right, let's move on.
All his work. I mean, what kind of shit is that, people? I mean, Fred, he doesn't deserve this Twitter handle. You know?
I thought
It's
the
a
thing
spit
froze
in
for
the
a moment.
face. That's what this is. This is a spit in the face of not only
I'll spit
evil
in the
AJ
face.
2010, but everybody else who's ever made it. This is how you don't play. He's spitting in
Can
the
I just
face.
pause it there for a moment?
Absolutely.
I'm one of those people that have made it to say I don't play
Mhm.
Crash 1 and 2, and I don't see it as a spit in the face. Evil AJ has his own thing. That's fine. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's just a Twitter handle for the DSP stuff. That's it. It doesn't matter at the end of the day, Sammy. That's the point that you're not getting.
Mm-hmm. I've made This Site On Plays. I've made 3. My first video on YouTube, other than just some like test video, just to get familiar with the YouTube system, was This How You Don't Play. I did an obscure one too. If I was trying to fame hunt, or if I was trying to get very popular, I wouldn't have done the playthrough that I did for my first This How You Don't Play. It was Valiant Hearts, and it wasn't exactly something that garnered a lot of attention. I just saw the playthrough. I felt like it deserved This How You Don't Play because it's a very serious and emotional game, a very story-based game. And, seeing them go la 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 and all this other shit, I felt as though I should make a This How You Don't Play for it. And I've also made Five Nights at Freddy's, which he was completely disrespectful to the whole way through. So I thought that would be a good one to make. And then I made Hotline Miami just because that was such a fucking ridiculously fun one to make. Did I make any other ones? I don't think I did.
Working on Hotline Miami too.
I was working on Hotline Miami too, and then I had a hard drive fail on me. But anyways, the point stands is that none of us in the Sons of Kojima, in my opinion, from what I've seen, and I interact with almost everyone on a daily basis. No one in the SOK specifically is trying to, use AJ or any of that kind of stuff or the community. There are people out there that try to advance themselves and try to, make some sort of
big
gain.
time.
Yeah, make some sort of gain off of the community and stuff like that. There are people out there that do that, but none of us have. So, all right. Anything else?
No.
Cool. Let's move on.
Of that legacy, of that reputation. Now, this minion makes me laugh. And the reason I say that is simply, you know what he is? He's a male, he's the virtual mailman of the anti-DSP community. He's a mailman.
Okay.
He delivers news and gossip on Twitter for free, by the way. He works for free.
Okay.
Again
What
with
he does,
this.
he's a virtual mailman.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Pause. Since when do mailmen deliver news? I thought that was like a news anchor or like a newspaper boy or something. Like, who delivers the news as a mailman? Like, is he talking about like a newsletter, which is pretty much obscure at this point? A virtual newsman. Or, a virtual mailman.
I don't know. You can come visit my place anytime.
What is even a virtual mailman to begin with? Is it just like, is there someone who like goes to different accounts, be like, oh, I need to deliver this email to this random address, and this email to this random address?
Well,
Fucking make.
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I guess now would be a perfect time to bring this up. I actually submitted your guys' paychecks through this mail service. So if you guys are looking for your paychecks, check in with Dragon Killer and Mr. Text here for payment because I sent the checks through the mail through them. So check with
Oh,
them.
god damn it.
Mm-hmm.
About time.
But again, this minion thing, I don't know, man. Text is a pretty independent and capable person. I don't think that he takes orders from people. He's his own man. So,
To quote Garfield, he can his own man.
mm-hmm. I don't know about Minion on that one. Well, I mean, any of them, but I don't know. Let's move on.
31K. I mean, 31,000 tweets. Well, what kind of shit? What the hell? 31,000 tweets of nothing but DSP? Come on, people. You don't see a pattern here? You're not seeing what I'm seeing?
We are not seeing what
No,
you're saying.
not at all. and what you're clear.
DSP
Can you stop it for a moment?
TXT.
Sure.
One thing that I would like to say is that Text doesn't just tweet about DSP related stuff. He uses that account as his own thing. He tweets about other stuff like Gamergate or just his personal opinions on Steam games. So it's not entirely DSP. So therefore, Sammy's logic is again flawed.
Yeah, I mean, Dragon Killers is more of the text account, more reporting things, screen caps, updates, stuff like that. Text talks about his personal life. He talks about Phil. I think Text is more like interpretation, more analysis type stuff, more reactions to things. Whereas Dragon Killer is more, this is what happened, not as much interpretation. Although recently he's been sort of, letting his personality through that account a little more, I think. But yeah, I mean, Dragon Killer has really been doing that. Here's this, here's that, here's that, and no one asked him to do it. He just wants to do it. That's what he wanted to do, and we all appreciate it. But we don't tell him to do it or ask him to do it or expect him to do it. So, anyways, moving on. Has anybody got like a
Is a
controller or
virtual
something?
mailman of the
Oh, yeah,
SOK.
that's my fault. Sorry.
He delivers all the news. All he does is retweet and post news and gossip. Very similar to another one. Just like another one. He's DSP Archives is pretty much the same. 21,000 tweets
Okay, 21,000. That clearly says 29.
about DSP.
You can't
So,
count.
another mailman, another virtual mailman. He has to deliver the news, by the way. He has to deliver the news because if they don't work together, how will the SOK know about, what's going on?
Okay.
You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah. They work
Every
together.
community needs a mailman
So we
to
have
deliver
two.
news right to their doorstep.
Well, it's two districts, we gotta serve both.
Oh, look, 17 minutes ago he tweeted Dragon Killer. Oh,
Dirty.
wait a minute. This is the same guy that was doing the quotes. Oh, this is the quote guy.
The quote guy.
Yeah, this is the quote. He puts. Let me see.
Let's see him find a quote.
Yeah.
He scrolled a
He's-
little bit and then stopped.
All he does is
There's a quote.
find
Quote,
something
voice acting.
negative, finds an error in what DSP says. He takes it out of context. He takes it out of reference and just posts it
Okay.
for whatever reason.
There's a quote.
Yeah, there's
That's
one.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Just retarded
Oh, okay. Retarded. He settled for retarded. He went to say crazy
his
and then
job
went with
is-
retarded.
to do quotes.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fun, I guess.
Okay.
Now he's gonna pause to let it sink
I
in.
mean, he has to pass the time somehow.
Another pause.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, wow, he's been doing this since October 2009. What
Yeah.
the
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
fuck?
Yeah. For 6 years he's been doing that.
Uh-huh.
So
Yep.
it's a 6-year
Some-
anniversary,
He's not even getting
Yeah.
paid.
And he's not getting paid.
Not getting paid. Well,
Well,
I set
mean,
the
there you
checks.
have it. These these three minions I just showed you, it just proves my point. They do
Bergen
all the grunt
exposed.
work. They do all the dirty work. They thumbs down his videos. I mean, this guy right here, DSP Archives, he probably listens to pre-streams and, listens
And-
to what Phil has to say And then he's always looking for the negative. You know, what can I post? What can I tweet now?
As opposed to Sammy
Come
right
on,
now,
Phil,
that's not
say
looking for the
something,
negative.
Controversial.
Mhm.
Say something, just little negative,
Fallout
so I can
Vision. Yeah,
post
this
it,
is
so
kind
I
of
can
Fallout.
do
It's
my
getting me in the
job
mood for Fallout
and
4.
let my community
His house is irradiated.
know.
And this is
So I can
an
keep them
excellent sleep
updated.
aid if you can't
That's what he
sleep.
does.
It
He
is.
keeps
Che
them
fell asleep
updated
last night watching this shit.
by posting quotes. So
I'm
yeah,
falling asleep right now. This is
there you go.
boring.
I don't blame him.
So here we have
All right,
it.
here we go.
After the failed attempt at DDoSing or hacking, whatever you want to call it,
Okay.
which was a nice try, by the way, they pull out the biggest scheme of the summer.
Okay.
Can you pause it real
Swatting.
quick?
Swatting. Yes.
I think someone DDoS his fucking brain or some shit like that.
Oh, his whole life is a denial of fucking service.
Jesus Christ.
Every girl
like someone-
denied him service.
It's like someone hit his brain with a fucking stun gun. That's why he sounds so retarded and shit.
So
Who talks like that 3 or 4 fucking times? It's like a baby trying to learn the alphabet and shit like that. Well, dude, he like fucking goddamn. His mouth is fucking stunned. I'm falling asleep with this boring bullshit.
I was stunned watching this shit. I would like to say again, this whole like, oh, we tried to DDoS him and then we finally got him with the swatting or whatever. Makes no sense. To be honest with you, when you look at it, this swatting and this DDoS whatever, this actually helped him. If you're trying to say that we're malicious, we're trying to hurt him, and that we had something to do with this actually helped him. He got a shit ton of views. He got a shit ton of sympathy pledges on Patreon. He got covered in news articles and shit like that. Like, this was something he was excited about. Like when he came back on camera after the and that's actually a good point, Colin. I think it's Colin, Colbn, like Colbin or whatever. Sorry if I mispronounced it. You're absolutely right. I should sue him because he says that I planned the swatting. He is accusing me of a criminal act, a felony, a federal offense, based on nothing. This is slander. As you know, we like to say, we've we've popularized the term slander for quite a while now. Sort of catching on with the young children nowadays. We've sort of been trumpeting the slander. This is textbook slander, my friends. This man has slandered me and said that I had committed a felony, a federal offense against this man based on nothing. Baseless accusation. I would invite any sort of person to go out there and try to say that me or anyone else in the Sons of Kojima had anything to do with this stuff. We did not celebrate it. We weren't happy about it. And if you guys have ever looked at our YouTube bio on the About section, since day one, we've had in our bio that we don't endorse, promote, or support any sort of ill will that manifests itself in real life. DDoSing, swatting, anything that actually, is malicious or some sort of attack against the guy like that. We're not down with that. So if somebody were to actually do this stuff, they would be doing so directly against anything that we've ever said, anything that we've ever asked for, anything. They would be going against our wishes, if you want to put it that way, that we order people to do shit. In this case, they'd be going against our wishes to go out and do some shit like they did. In my opinion, it was some third party that doesn't really talk with people in the community, or maybe they do, I don't know. But some third party that just wanted to get a rise. Maybe some completely separate entity that just found out about him and said, let's fuck with them or something. I don't know. But it's ridiculous. I'm not going to sue the guy, but I'm just saying, I mean, you have to be careful when you say this kind of shit. When we say shit about Phil, we show proof, we show evidence, It's fact-based, and we don't say that he's out there fucking committing crimes or anything like that, unless we had proof that he was going to do so. But I don't even think we've done that, except for that stupid mail fraud, which was he literally went on camera and said he was doing it. So, all right. So there you go. According to Sammy,
Hey, Sammy.
according to Sammy here, we're committing crimes.
Yeah, you see,
Well,
we're here to commit crimes.
Damn right.
I think he's committed a crime, actually. You know, thanks to him, I have to pay more in taxes because obviously, since he's overweight, he's gonna have more of a fucking health issues that I got to pay for with my taxes. So, thanks, Sammy, you fucking piece of shit.
You paid for those pants, Jay.
Well, I think that's the same pants that his mom got him when he was 15.
Wow.
Probably weighed the same too.
So
I mean,
that's some
don't
slander.
bury him yet. We can't fucking lift the coffin.
Slander for slander. We'll both agree not to sue each other. How about that? Let's continue.
Yeah. So, Phil got swatted in the summer. Everybody knows it by now. And, you know, the swatting happened on a Wednesday.
Look at all
June
those thumbs
24th.
downs. I bet
It's
you
a
those were all
Wednesday,
us,
look
right?
it up. But
Yup.
take a wild guess what comes after Wednesday. What's that big podcast on
Thursday?
Wednesday, huh?
Big podcast.
Big podcast.
Well,
Well, he's asking because he doesn't know when Thursday is. That's why he's
Oh,
asking the viewers.
Yeah, his mom had
oh
to chime in.
shit. It's the Sons of Kojima podcast live every Thursday at
Notice he
7
didn't
p.m.
say bums
Eastern.
of Kojima.
So
Hmm.
they planned it on a Wednesday because the next day they can talk about it right away because they know it would have been a hot topic and very controversial. People are gonna be buzzing about it. They wanna see the possibly SOK talk about it. So they planned the attack on Wednesday, and then 24 hours later, boom, they're right there to cover every single detail.
Is this the only proof he has that because our podcast is on Thursday,
Yes.
we magically planned it for a Wednesday?
Yes.
Oh my fucking god.
There's so many things wrong with this.
Now let me
Well,
tell
you know, that's Thursday is painting day, you know, at his local special education center.
macaroni. It's macaroni time. Shout out to all the macaroni. Listen, this is pretty much ridiculous. Okay, first of all, it doesn't matter how many people show up to our broadcast. Now, I believe, if I remember correctly, the same amount of people that we have now are the same amount of people that showed up for this post-SWAT episode, which is to say, like, you know, people show up whenever they want to, whatever they're interested in. Like, people are interested in us talking shit about you, apparently. Like, and the other thing is, and this is I think pretty important. The way that this happened, it put us in a tough position because a lot of people just assumed that we did it. A lot of people thought like, oh man, who has an axe to grind with Phil? Who dislikes Phil? And the first person that they thought of was the SOK, the group that is often critical of him. So for us to have to go on the air the day after put us in a tough position because we have to put out a heartfelt and reasonable analysis of what's going on, and we have to sort of speak to the world and let them know that we had nothing to do with it right after it happens. As a matter of fact, it would have been better if we had a couple days to sort of take it all in, see what happened, let the facts come out. We literally had to come out the day after and sort of try to give our analysis based on limited information of even knowing what happened, and try to explain, you know, our side of it and what's going on. So this was actually the worst case scenario, which is to like have this atmosphere where people on the pro Phil side are thinking that we did it. They're tuned in to see that we did it, and they're going to try to nitpick anything that we say to try to say that we had something to do with it. So if it was my preference, we wouldn't have had a swatting close to the podcast the way that it was. But regardless, if that's your sole evidence, then you've got a tough road to hoe, and that's going to be my catchphrase for this fucking shit, because every argument that he's trying to advance, he's got a tough road to hoe with that, because I couldn't see him advancing a single one. And that's why, in my opinion, that's why the quote-unquote debate, the shooting the shit, went the way that it did. He never advanced an argument. He never laid down a claim and then defended it against scrutiny. This is just his ability to say whatever the fuck he wants, and then we have to say our piece after the fact. We don't have an exchange of ideas. We don't have a free-flowing conversation. This is literally the best-case scenario for him. We do our take after he does his take, and he doesn't get to fucking say anything back to us. We don't get to question him. We don't get to ask him for more detail. He gets to put out what he wants, feel satisfied with it, and then we don't get the chance to scrutinize it.
I don't even know how you can get that fucking logic. It's beyond stupid.
I can't believe that his entire argument is, it was on a Wednesday. That is one of the dumbest arguments that I have ever seen. So many things wrong with it.
Mm-hmm.
So bad.
So, go ahead, Mr. Fizz.
I don't even know, like, and you got to think too. It's like, oh yeah, how is he gonna apply that to his job at Whole Foods? And like, why didn't you come in? Well, yesterday was Wednesday and today was a Thursday, so I didn't come in. Like, that just doesn't work no matter what you do.
Right. Want to give a quick introduction. Mr. Moonman has been able to join us. How's it going, Moonman?
Not much. I just got back from picking up really heavy shit in the garage.
You missed the roast beforehand, and we're about halfway through the video. 18 minutes of a 37-minute video.
Oh.
So we've got about 20 minutes left.
Oh, sweet.
So let's get it.
You guys are like analyzing it, or?
Do you have the link for the InstaSync?
Yes, sir.
All right. You should be synced up with us. We're about to start at 18:45 and continue on.
Look it up.
The format is that we're pausing, so if there's something you want to comment on, let me know to pause. We pause, and then we sort of shoot the shit until we then continue.
All right.
Cool. Let's go.
And by the way, that swatting backfired big time
There's
because,
some echo.
I mean, he made a lot of money off of that. He made a lot of money. So
All right,
that
just
shit
pause.
actually backfired on Fred. Look, Fred knows who did it. Okay? We're not stupid. He knows who did it.
Yeah,
The
Fred, who
other
did it?
Yeah.
Stooges might not know about it, but there's one person that Fred keeps close to him. It's maybe a minion, or maybe he knows someone in real life. Like,
What?
the most likely
Is it-
scenario is this.
Is he gonna say a name?
Someone came up to him and said, look, I have this information, I have his address, I have his IP. Let's do it. Let's swat him. But Fred, he tried to play it smart,
Okay.
and he probably told them that, let's wait it out. Let's wait out until Arkham Knight. Because Phil is really excited about Arkham Knight.
Oh.
Let's just get him then. Let's first try the DDoS, and if that fails, then we're gonna pull out the swatting.
If it fails.
But it has to be a Wednesday. It can't be a Sunday or Saturday, because by the time our podcast comes, people are not going to be too interested in it.
Okay, pause.
Just-
God, where do I even fucking start?
Start with the secret guy.
Okay,
apparently.
let's start with this notion that it was deliberately planned out to be the most beneficial to the podcast and then to us and all that shit. I mean, we kind of covered the podcast angle, but all right, let's use a little bit more let's use a little bit more reasoned thinking. So if you are trying to pick the perfect time to swat somebody, right? Wouldn't you wait until there was like face cam or something? Phil was doing face cam playthroughs, and over the summer he did a lot more, and recently he's been doing face cam playthroughs. If you're trying to swat Phil to the greatest effect, hypothetically, wouldn't you do it when he's on face cam? Makes no sense that you would swat him during Arkham Knight, yada yada yada. Ridiculous. If that's just ridiculous. This secret guy theory is also ridiculous. This notion that somebody comes to me about it. Why would somebody come to me about it? Like, he tries to present me as like the leader of the community and shit like that. I don't fucking give people orders or tell people to do shit. People don't come to me for permission to do shit. Like, this community is a lot bigger than just me, and this community is bigger than just the SOK in general. So, this notion that me or this group controls or is responsible for the entire community. What I tried to sort of let Mr. Sammy here know is that there are a lot of people that don't like Phil, that are fed up of his shit, and like there's just it's such a big group of people that just don't like Phil. I don't think you could possibly put an accurate number on it, because there's people that lurk, there's people that do their own thing, there's people that support us or in the SOK, yada yada yada. It's a large group of people, so it's hard to imagine that a single person, or us, a single group of friends, are in control of people.
And it could just be somebody just random that doesn't even know who Phil was, just scrolling through fucking Encyclopedia Dramatica and saw his fucking address, because the address is on this Encyclopedia Dramatica page. And it could just happen through there. Like, it could be even more distance from us than that. Like,
Right.
It could just be like random ass people just trying to fuck with them.
I agree. Anything else before we move on? All right, let's go.
Damn. Yeah, so Fred knows who did it. I mean, come on. As the captain of this
Some good
community,
echo. Somebody not using a
you
headset?
mean to tell me he had no idea who did it? He has absolutely no clue on who swatted Phil? I don't buy that for 1 second. Because he knows everything that's coming in and out. He knows more about Phil than even the fans, than even me. He knows everything and anything when it comes to DSP.
I know everything.
So of course he has some idea who is it.
What?
He was involved with it.
Fred, you
That
are
is slander.
Involved with that.
That is fucking
That's
slander.
actual slander.
That is literal slander.
That is
This
like
was no coincidence, people.
All right, go ahead.
Federal
We'll pause.
slander.
Yeah, go ahead.
that's just fucking that's like he's literally like saying you did it, and that's just
He knows everything. I know everything about Phil, therefore I know who did it. I was involved in it. Come on, man. God damn it. Are you serious? That is fucking slander. We
That
joke
is-
around about slander. That is slander, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to see textbook, dictionary definition, slander, that is motherfucking slander. He committed a crime.
that is like main event slandermania slander right there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, prideful zombie. I did not do Panda Lee. I would not do Panda Lee, and I will not do Panda Lee. Terrible. That is slander. That's breaking the law. Ask Che. That's fucking breaking the law. That's a crime.
Oh my god.
How was that snaggletooth blowjob?
Oh God. Why?
We're
Why would
moving
you put
on
that in
before
my
we
head?
even go down that road.
This was
Oh.
coincidence.
Was
This
fake.
was all staged from the beginning in the summer because they had all the time during the downtime. So that's what they came up with.
Time
at
during
least
the
Fred
downtime.
fucks.
Up during the downtime.
Now, I'm not saying that Fred called in the SWAT.
Yes,
In
you
fact,
are.
I know he didn't. He's too smart for that. But he knows who did. He's not gonna cough it up and tell everyone who did it. But it doesn't even matter now anyways. You know who Fred reminds me of?
Who's that?
He reminds me of the governor from The Walking Dead.
Beautiful.
The governor was calculating
What?
and
What?
diabolical.
You're kidding.
What?
What
Now
the
I hear a lot
fuck?
of folks
Narcissism?
say that Phil
What?
is narcissist.
Yes.
Well, I'm here to tell you that narcissism is actually a good thing.
What? No,
If
no,
you
no,
don't
no, no,
believe
no, no.
me, go read the book,
Pause.
Rethinking
All right, sorry.
Narcissism.
I was reading the chat.
Narcissism is far from a good thing. It means that you, for a couple of instances of narcissism, meaning, you know, like not being able to see the bad things happening to you, you know, being in denial about them. That's exactly what Phil does. Have an inflated ego, not being able to believe those. That's Phil. That's not good. That's narcissism. Narcissism is not good. Plain and simple. Don't believe this guy's lies.
Let me give you some definitions here. I'll give you the definition from psychology. Extreme selfishness with a grandiose view of one's own talents and a craving for admiration as a characterizing personality type.
Yeah, it's like word for word, Phil.
Psychoanalysis. Self-centeredness arising from a failure to distinguish the self from external objects, either in very young babies or as a feature of a mental disorder.
Yeah, see? That's Phil.
So
No.
it's not a good thing. I mean, it's possible that Dr. Craig Malkin here, I haven't read his work, so
A fucking idiot.
I doubt that fucking Sammy has read this book. I doubt that he's read a book that has more than 1,000 words in it. But I will say that without reading this man's work, I would assume that he's talking about how different characteristics of human nature that are self-serving are good, or to say that there should be some aspect of self-interest and self-preservation. I mean, that's all ingrained in us, right? The will to survive and all that kind of stuff. But it's possible, again, just assuming, I don't know of this work, it's possible that the title was meant to be just a tad bit sensationalist and get people wanting to read this. It says right there, the bad and surprising good. So I think he's trying to acknowledge the lesser known or attack it from a different angle. But I think we can all agree, and I think psychologists and other people would agree, that narcissism, to the commonly accepted understanding, would be negative. So
Oh yeah, it's just, you know, you can't recognize your own flaws and you think you're better than everyone else, and yeah. I don't know if this doctor's full of shit. A lot of doctors are full of shit. There's a lot of people out there that are full of shit. So I haven't read the book, but yeah, narcissism isn't good. You'll never be happy when you have a mental disorder, just like being bipolar or any bullshit like that. Probably one of these fucking quack faggot doctors that probably did that shit. But not being able to recognize your own flaws and not being able to be real with yourself and understand that there's positives and negatives and know how to work around that for every human being. Narcissists don't do that. So I don't know if this doctor's a fucking fag, but I know Sammy is.
I don't even think Sammy like read the book, or even I don't even think he knows who this doctor is. He just searched up narcissism in Google Images and saw the first picture that he thought was good, put it in the video.
He read the good on the title and he's like, "Oh, narcissism's good for you."
Yeah.
Oh, it appears that narcissism is good for you. Whoa, that takes away from the argument that DSP is a narcissist.
all right, let me read some of the some of like the back cover analysis. All right. Dr. Malkin offers the right mix of analysis and advice and presents compelling, groundbreaking evidence that narcissism is necessary in the right doses, of course. So, moving on, it takes the cliches of narcissism and unpacks them to help us understand and accept our human need to feel special while also coping with the dangers of self-absorption. It will become a classic. Let's see. Dr. Malkin offers a surprising, accessible analysis of narcissism and explains why a healthy dash of narcissism can be a good thing. So these people, these doctors here, these are quotes from Dr. Sue Johnson, Peggy Drexler, PhD, assistant professor at Cornell. And Dr. Malkin is from Harvard, I believe. Let me read this real quick.
I don't know. That kind of doesn't make...
Harvard Medical School, psychologist, whatever. He's trying to say that in the right doses, narcissism is a necessary condition. It's part of the human condition, right?
I think that's bullshit, to be honest with you.
Well,
I think it's called confidence.
Right.
That's ridiculous. It's like saying a mental disorder, right doses of it. I think they're totally wrong on that. And being confident about yourself and your abilities is totally different from narcissism. It's called being confident, not small doses of a mental disorder, which makes you think you're better than everyone else and you can't see your flaws and you can't work around them.
Well,
so I think some doctors are wrong.
That's the extreme of narcissism, though. What they're trying to say is that there should be a sense of self-importance. Yeah. There should be a sense of self-preservation, and there should be a sense of motivation for your own benefit.
But you shouldn't be overconfident, which
exactly.
is kind of what narcissism is.
Well, I call it confidence. I think narcissism is a different thing, but so whatever. I'm not a psychologist, so them faggots wouldn't probably believe me. I think psychology is bullshit anyways in a lot of terms. No, it's totally wrong. It's like saying a small doses of fucking a mental disorder. But anyway, this ain't about narcissism or what some quack doctor.
Of a mental disorder.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I just wanted to give, because he's going to talk about this for a little bit, so I just wanted to sort of chime in and just say that I guess this is the piece that he's literally just offering up a picture. I don't think he's talking about the contents of the book at all, but let's just say and assume that he maybe read it. He is using this book, which by definition from all of these different people that read the book and are now reviewing it, it was placed on the back cover of this book that there is a small dash of narcissism that is complementary to a healthy life. But when we're using narcissism, we're using it in the dictionary definition term. We're not using it in a term of, just a dash of narcissism is good for you. We're talking about the extreme sense of the word narcissist, and Phil fits that bill.
Not just confidence. Like,
what do you mean?
No,
I mean narcissism is bullshit.
No, but that's what they're talking about in this book, like a small dose of narcissism. It's confidence.
I don't believe
just
that.
Just basic confidence.
Yeah, I don't believe that. I believe they're two different words.
They are. Bad wording. I felt like it was kind of like a cash grab cover.
Yeah, I was totally just to sell books.
So.
And it worked. It got Sammy to read the title.
Yeah.
That's true. It got Sammy to use the fucking cover of the book, so.
I'm pretty sure Sammy didn't even read Green Eggs and Ham, so can't say they read the book.
He needs to read a fucking book on dieting. I'll tell you what, man. He needs to actually drink that juice that he's making. Maybe do a little detox. But anyways, let's move on from the fantastic slander.
Narcissism.
There we go.
If you read that, it tells you that there are two sides to narcissists. The regular tamed kind, which makes up 80% of it.
Oh.
And the extreme narcissism, which is like 20%. And no way is Phil an extreme narcissist. He is the regular kind.
Okay,
the anti-DSP community, including Fred, say that Phil is greedy for money.
Yes.
Which is ironic because Fred has an avatar of Tony Montana. Tony was a greedy demon.
How does that even
Anti-GSP
apply?
community keeps mentioning money, yet they
Pause. Can't even. Give me a second here.
Oh my god.
Let me collect myself for just a second. They need to write a book on this fucking guy. How about that? Dr. Craig Malkin, if you're listening somehow, I'm actually going to email this guy. Dr. Craig, you're a Harvard psychologist from medical school. You need to fucking write a book on this goddamn guy. So because I have an avatar of Tony Montana, which is something that I've been a big fan of, the movie Scarface. I'm a fan of Al Pacino's works and stuff like that. I like the movie. I like to... have that as a representation. It's fantastic. That somehow I am taking his qualities and I am aspiring to be him. And if I dare say, Sammy thinks that I just outright am him. So
I think because I think he's fuck it. I think Sammy's thinking that his avatars are like real. He thinks he's John Cena.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say without stuttering like that dumbass.
It's John Cena.
Ba-ba-da-ba.
So Fazzy is Freddy Fazbear. Moonman is you're the Crescent Moon, right? You're a Crescent
I'm back
Moon.
tonight.
Che is what is that? Darth Neil or some shit?
Darth Nihilus, yeah.
Nihilus, sorry. And I am at this point I think I changed my avatar to Tony surrounded by a bunch of minions. So I thought that would be pretty key. So I am Tony Montana. Gotcha. All right, moving on.
They don't understand that life is not about playing video games as best as you can.
Oh.
Life is about making money as best as you can, and
a BMW in his garage. He's got a $250,000 house, bought a new furniture, drinking Perrier water, all that sort of good stuff. And the best part is that his girlfriend, who refuses to work, who refuses to drive, who refuses to get a driver's license just in case she needs it for an emergency in the future, actually wants to go ahead and chase her dreams, as it were, and use Phil's crippling debt and his financial situation as an opportunity to chase her dreams and to make soap. And this business that Phil admits himself will not be profitable for years to come is burning thousands of dollars in materials, supplies, like the packaging. All of the packaging is like specific logos, the black currant. She's got like all this kind of shit going on, business cards. They actually just said the other day that they get 2 copies of the same game even though they live in the same house. They do all kinds of splurging, staycations, all that shit. You mean to tell me that Phil is living within his means, Sammy?
That's what the fucking soap. It's like throwing money into a pit at this point. It's not making any profit whatsoever. It's actually losing them more money than ever.
And as Dominatrix Gamer says, soap is actually profitable if you do it right. But what Leanna's doing, she doesn't have anything unique. And essentially her marketing is to get the word out there to teenage boys who probably aren't going to buy or use that soap. And, again, I don't know about all that stuff. Toasted Marshmallow is one of her latest soap and wax tart. Like, when I was 14, I don't think I even knew what a wax tart was. I might have thought that maybe it was used to like put on a rail before you grind on it with a skateboard. A wax tart. But I definitely wasn't interested in any sort of fancy soap.
She's just run her business into the ground, and at this point, Phil's putting in money because we know she's not putting in any money. Phil's putting in money to Money Pit.
Right.
And Phil's never going to say no to her, so that's going to bring him down.
Moving on.
summer because they had all the time during the downtime.
Yep, I think we actually
So that's
went
what
backwards.
they came and diabolized to narcissism.
There we go.
Extreme narcissism. Tony was a greedy demon. Anti-DSP community keeps mentioning money, yet they don't understand that life is not about playing video games as best as you can. Life is about making money as best as you can, and it's about living within your means.
Pause.
The exact opposite of what Phil does.
Is that
now.
what Phil is doing then? Gotcha. A fucking move across the country to a $250,000 house, a BMW, a girlfriend that does not and refuses to work, and she is actually burning thousands of dollars a year on that quote-unquote business of hers.
The SOK and the detractors, they're always saying how Phil is e-begging. He's begging to pledge to his Patreon. He's begging his fans. He's begging for money. It's not begging. They have never ran a business because if they did, they would know that there's a thing called marketing. It's not begging, it's marketing. Let me give you a perfect example. Hanes. Michael Jordan's Hanes underwear. When you watch a commercial of that,
Well, yeah,
is Jordan
he
begging
kind of
you
is.
to buy it and give him money? No. He's simply showing a product, and it's up to the viewer to decide that.
Okay.
Same thing with Phil. And there's always a new fan watching for the first time. If a new fan is watching a pre-stream for the first time, they would know about his Patreon. Now, whether he actually donates money is up to the person.
All right. Pause.
But
Okay, he's using the word donate when he's trying to compare it to somebody selling a product. Okay? If you go and buy Hanes brand underwear, as he used in this example, you're not donating. You're not just donating to them. You're exchanging money for goods or services. In this case, a good, right? What Phil is doing is he's giving you an option to donate to him. In addition, he'll sprinkle in some things, but they're not guaranteed. For example, $75 for you to be in Project 7 clearly is not guaranteed. So it's so ridiculous for him to try to make this analogy, but I'll bite and I'll say this. Phil is not in a position where he's just flat out selling things. You know what his product is? His product is trying to get people to watch his YouTube videos. That's his service. That's what he's supposed to be giving to people. He's not very good at that, as Phil has demonstrated time and time again. He's not exactly good at doing that anymore. So he needs to reach out to stuff like Patreon so that way he can get shit going again and to kind of keep him on life support. But this notion that it's the same thing as Phil and his business. No, this is an extension of the business. This is essentially his open guitar case on the side of the street. Please put money in it. So,
Yep.
All right, let's pick up. We're at 24:51. We're in the home stretch. We've got about 13 minutes left. This is taking us a while, but we got this. Let's do this.
at least he knows that it exists, right? But if Phil were to plug Patreon during actual playthrough, during gameplay, let's say a 50-part playthrough, and he plugged it in all of those videos, yeah, that reeks of desperation, no doubt about it. So I just wanted to put that to rest. It's not quote-unquote begging, it's marketing. I hear a lot of his critics and ex-fans say that, oh, he's only in it for the money. Well, when you're 33 years old, have a house payment, mortgage, have pets to feed, have all these bills coming in, money is a top priority, and video games is a second
yo, Fred.
priority.
Yeah.
Obviously, the kids who
And
say
this thing's
this,
not
that
resyncing
he's
for me.
only in
Yeah,
it for the
resync.
money,
I'm hosting.
they
Oh.
haven't reached adulthood yet.
It's not working.
They don't own a home, and probably never will. So they
think
can't
it's
really
sync fucked up
relate.
again.
They can't understand.
I'm literally hosting it. I can see it that I'm hosting it right now.
Oh.
It says right here I'm the leader. So try resyncing. We're at 2608.
All right.
Is
There it
and
goes.
the detractors, they're always saying how Phil is begging. He's begging to pledge to his Patreon. He's begging his fans. He's begging for money. It's not begging. They have never ran a business, because if they did, they would know that there's a thing called marketing. It's not begging, it's marketing. Let me give you a perfect example. Hanes. Michael Jordan's Hanes underwear. When you
What?
watch a commercial of that,
Alright.
is Jordan begging you to buy it and give him money? No. He's simply showing a product, and it's up to the viewer to decide that. Same thing with Phil. And there's always a new fan watching for the first time. If
I
a
don't
new
think so.
fan is
Okay,
watching,
pause right here. All right. It's just like Hanes underwear. This is completely different. First of all, Phil is doing this because he's unsuccessful, because his main product, which would be the Hanes underwear in this case, is failing him. This would be like if Hanes underwear started up a side campaign where if you donated $50, they would have Michael Jordan autograph your fucking underwear for you or something like that. This is not his bread and butter business, and the reason why this Patreon even exists is because his bread and butter business is failing.
I mean, and why are you going to throw in Michael Jordan to begin with? It's not like he goes on the commercial and sells you the actual product that he has a store. He's just basically a spokesperson.
Right.
I don't know where he's getting this logic from. It doesn't make any sense.
Phil is the spokesperson, the CEO, the CFO, the fucking brand officer, everything. He is the complete and sole proprietor of DSP Incorporated.
Well, I mean, he only has to pay himself, so I guess that works in the long
Well,
run.
he does have one full-time employee.
Oh yeah, the full-time girlfriend.
That's right. So this is completely different, Sammy, in terms of, oh yeah, I mean, this is just like somebody being the spokesperson for a successful company and helping them sell a product. Phil is taking donations, and he just said recently, it's flat out donations. He views it as donations, but he justifies it in terms of he's giving you something in exchange for the donations. Whereas, a Twitch streamer, they just say your name in exchange for $1. That's completely different, which is ridiculous because his dollar gets you a fucking text shout out on an outdated fucking list from August. So.
Oh my god.
All right, let's continue on. We're in the home stretch here.
a pre-stream for the first time, they would know about his Patreon. Now, whether he actually donates money is up to the person,
Yes, it is.
but at least he knows that it exists, right? But if Phil were to plug Patreon during actual playthrough, during gameplay, let's say a 50-part playthrough, and he plugged it in all of those videos, yeah, that reeks of desperation, no doubt about it. So I just wanted to put that to rest.
Okay, first of all, before he puts it to rest, let's wake it back up real quick and shake it violently. Phil does plug his Patreon in every single one of those parts of the video. If you've ever looked at the description, Sammy. Moving on.
It's not quote unquote. It's marketing.
No, it's not.
I hear a lot of his critics and ex-fans say that, oh, he's only in it for the money.
Okay, you can pause it.
Well,
Yes, sir.
When you're
Yeah, he's basically in it for the money. What he started this as a hobby, but then soon realized, hey, I can actually make a decent amount for it. I mean, he's in it for the money. That's why he has a Patreon. That's why he talks about views. He constantly brings this up because he's not receiving the money that he should be receiving.
Right.
And it's pretty clear cut.
Mm-hmm. In my opinion, I think that if he were to have this sudden influx of cash, he might be a happier guy, but until then, he's just going to be complaining. He's just going to be fucking bitter and sad and mad and all those different things. And, he's said it himself. He says, oh, my people have been telling me, oh, views, views, views. Yeah, views, views, views. I own a business, He's unapologetic in the fact that this is a for-profit venture and only a for-profit venture. He's talked about, oh, you think that I can go and get a job, that $10 an hour job that's going to recreate, what I'm doing now? Fuck that. No, you're out of your mind. I don't have a fallback plan. This is it. This is all I got.
All you got to do is ask yourself this: if you never made any money for it, let's say Machinima dropped them, or YouTube, whatever, any circumstance where he didn't make any money off of it, you think he'd still be playing games on YouTube?
No.
That's all you got to ask yourself. The question's right there. I mean, the answer's right there in the question.
Yeah. Completely agree. Any other thoughts on this before we move on?
Yeah, it's going to get worse.
It
is entirely stupid.
You're 33 years old, have a house payment, mortgage, have
a house
pets
payment
to
and a
feed,
mortgage.
have
Pets
all
to
these
feed.
bills
That's what he
coming
calls his
in.
hamsters.
It's
Money is a top
they're
priority.
totally not the same thing.
And video games is a second priority.
Oh.
Obviously, the kids who say this, that he's only in it for the money, they haven't reached adulthood yet. They don't
They
own a
haven't.
home.
Yeah, okay.
And probably
Pause. So you're saying, Sammy, that people have not reached adulthood, maybe like you, a 27-year-old that's working at Whole Foods.
Nah, he hasn't reached adulthood yet. Clearly.
I love how Sammy always constantly. What this thing is, this trope in the DSP community where, like, if you disagree or if someone wants to cut you down, they just call you a kid. Phil's audience is kids. Sammy, for all intents and purposes, is a kid.
I mean, Phil does it constantly, so they're like, oh, we've got to repeat what our glorious leader says.
Yeah. That's essentially what's happening here.
I'm pretty sure Sammy doesn't own a home, so that makes him hasn't reached adulthood yet either.
Yeah.
He's a so-called kid by his logic.
I mean, how many times has Phil said, "Oh, I'm a gamer first," like constantly trying to justify, "Oh, I've always been gamer first, YouTuber second, or something like that." I don't know.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's very, very clear that Sammy is just trying to use buzzwords like kid and immature and mentally ill and stuff like that. He doesn't really have anything of his own. He's just sort of picking up on things that he's heard. All right, moving on.
never will. So they can't really relate. They can't understand his situation.
Yeah.
Worrying about another man's financial situation and money could be hazardous to your health.
Pause. Why is it then, Sammy, that the first thing that you said to me on the fucking debate, or sorry, when we shot the shit, was, "Do you have a job? Are you failing at work or school?" That's the first fucking thing that you said to me. That's the first area that you were interested in getting my input on. More so than the DSP stuff and all that shit. The first interaction that I have with you. Your first fucking thing that you offered to me. Do you have a job, Fred? Are you failing at work or school? So I guess that's hazardous to you because you got killed in that fucking shooting of the shit.
It's, I don't know, just it's do as I say, not as I do. And
He's a fucking idiot.
Continuing on.
They say that, and they, as in detractors, that DSP doesn't care about the fans.
He does not.
Sammy, he doesn't care about you.
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't.
He
My
doesn't.
response to that is, I don't care if DSP doesn't care about me.
Okay,
I
stop.
don't expect.
Pause. Yep.
Okay, so he says that he doesn't care about the fans because DSP doesn't care about the fans. So what? If DSP were to start caring about his fans, not saying he ever will, but if he does, then you'll start caring? What are you gonna do? Will you take DSP's word for literally everything? You are a fucking idiot, Sammy.
Ooh. Jesus.
Laying it down.
That is some high quality slander, my friend.
Please continue.
As you wish.
Him to care about. He doesn't know me personally.
No.
I'm not Panda Lee. I'm not Johnny Rambo.
Johnny.
Or his next door neighbor.
He doesn't even
You
know
yelled at
them.
him?
I'm not Cinnamon or Raisin.
He knows the
names of his
hamsters.
Phil is
Yeah, he
not my
claims not to be
babysitter. So no, he's
uh,
not supposed to care about
whatever.
me.
It's casual.
About the fans.
Yeah.
He knows the names of his hamsters.
Kobe Bryant. You think Kobe cares about all those Lakers fans sitting in the Staples Center?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
His job is to play the game, get paid, and move on to the next game. The same thing with DSP.
Oh, we're back to this
People
now.
who do Let's Indoors
Oh,
are
like us?
masochists.
We certainly are
The
for this
bombs
one.
of Kojima.
Oh, pause. We certainly are for having done this one, Sammy. So you know what? I give you. You probably saw this coming, and we already got your permission to, on record, for us to be able to do this. So, yeah, you're right on that one. We definitely are putting ourselves through one hell of a fucking journey to get through this, to fucking plow our way through this fucking idiocy, ignorance, and just. I can't come up with enough words to describe how tough this has been to get through. But it's been fun.
It's been a headache, that's for sure.
By the way, we're back to the Tony Montana Minions picture, which is fantastic. Let's continue on.
Are bored kists. They like to torture themselves.
Oh,
Okay.
Take a look at this.
No.
now we're back to
Okay,
night vision.
Can't
Fisheye.
hear it
Always.
again. God damn it.
He got paid for each one. He got paid for Dark Souls.
No, he didn't.
How did he get paid
got
for
paid?
those?
What the
Paid.
fuck?
For Crash
He's saying that Phil
Bandicoot.
got paid for those.
He got
Yeah,
paid
for our
all-
Let's Indoors.
For all of these, so it's all good.
Phil didn't get paid for them. They're on our
Now,
channel.
If the Sons of Kojima are so much better players, better skilled players, and they just might be.
I know for a fact
They
that I
might
am
be
better at him than
players
Crash.
Phil, but so, how come they're not contracted by Machinima?
Well,
wanna
if
be.
they're-
Pause. We actually have been offered several partnerships in different avenues. Hitbox, YouTube, by several different companies. One of our good friends actually owns an MCN of his own, Mr. Fuse for Dave McCulley. So we actually don't want to have one for a number of reasons. First of all, you know, having a big group of people and getting money involved complicates things, of course. But not only that, our core principles are to not exploit this fucking DSP stuff for money, like other people seem to with their fucking donations and their shameless fucking garbage that they do. That's not our goal, is to get involved in that and to throw away our credibility and whatever dignity that would go with it to fucking, you know, start to try to make, a couple bucks here and there. It's really not worth it. Think about the calculation there. We made $15 last month doing this and that, and we got to split it between 25 people, 30 people, whatever, that were involved. Oh, and people are gonna know that we're doing that. Oh, and by the way, it takes away from our credibility that what we're saying. Makes no sense to even start that shit.
It's called personal preference and not being desperate. I mean, I don't know if Sammy thinks that there's other ways you can make money. It's called going outside.
Mm-hmm.
E-begging. It's
Whole
ridiculous.
Foods and half the truth.
There you go, Whole Foods. There's a way you can make some money.
That would be the name of fucking Sammy Samosa's fucking autobiography. Whole Foods and half truths.
I love how he acts like it's so hard to get a partnership. There's literally people out there with like 50 subscribers that have partnerships.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as hard as you think.
Yep. Now, obviously, the managed partnership, you got to have like 3 million views a month for that shit. But Pandalia has a partnership under Machinima.
I think she hasn't had a subscriber get any new ones. In
You look
6
at
months.
her social blade. She's been stagnant for like 8 months. So, all right, before we get off on a tangent, let's finish this up.
Better players, they would do a better job and thus get more money, right? They will be earning more than Phil
money
if they were, as
You know,
they
because
say,
we
they're better,
earn money off those videos anyway.
but they get nothing. Fred told me that this is a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
That what they do is a hobby.
Yeah.
Well, the way I see it, a hobby is supposed to pass the time, not fill it.
The fuck?
I mean, look at this. 3 hours and 9 minutes.
That passed the
That's
time.
torture.
Torture. It's torture to watch Phil. You watch a 5-hour stream of Phil. We
How
watched
is this
3.
not
That
torture?
Jack 2 one was over the course
3
of 2
hours
days,
is another
Sammy.
one.
I don't think you understand that part.
Another one, 3 hours.
3
Like,
hours. He would
instead
sit
of
down and
going
watch a
to
5-hour
watch
Phil
a
stream.
movie at the
There are people
theater
that watch
for
the
3
7-hour
hours,
Phil
they
stream with
sit
breaks.
and watch someone, the same death animation over and over.
Yeah.
Again, I will go with the LeBron James example.
Oh, you mean Queen
I
James? You
don't
slandered
like
him on the
him.
forums?
So if someone were to come to me and tell me that they have a 3-hour montage of James missing shots, that's not entertainment.
Oh.
Yes,
That's
it is.
torture. And quite retarded, actually.
Oh.
Even a
Quite
30-minute show
retarded.
like Dexter, which I hate.
You hate
All
Dexter?
those Let's Indoors they watched,
Wow.
which is a lot. DSP still got paid for those screw-ups. So it's all good.
I
Look
love
at
this
that
fake
forced
laugh.
laugh.
The good thing about the DSP community is there's no pressure to do certain things.
Sounds like he's giving a
We
speech in front of
do
class.
whatever the hell we want to do. We don't constantly have to show up in stupid quote-unquote meetings.
Pause. No, but you do have to praise Phil at every time. In order for him to listen to you, you would have to be a more successful YouTuber than him, despite the fact that fans are trying and are now under the guise of spread the word, donate to my Patreon, watch all my videos, give new playthroughs a chance, at least watch part 1 and 2, and if you waste 20 minutes, you just waste 20 minutes. Oh well. You guys are being commanded to tweet about him, to thumbs up his videos, to watch his videos, to have 400 of you show up on a stream, to give him creative and solutions to all of his complex problems, to give him Ask the King questions. You guys used to be tasked with giving him fan art. You guys have to do a lot of shit. Whereas people that watch our stuff, all they have to do is just show up and that's it. They can submit viewer-submitted topics if they want to, fucking tailor the show towards what they want to hear about, but they show up, they just sit back, they relax, they watch, they play video games, they listen to us in the background, and from time to time they win some cool shit. Like, being a consumer of our shit and being a consumer of Phil's shit is completely different. So you're right on that regard, but you're wrong in the fact that, we in the DSP community, we don't have to do shit except for tweet all his stuff out and fucking give him money on Patreon and spread the word to our fucking friends. Hey, do you remember Phil from 3 years ago? He's still doing videos.
And then you hear your friends say, there's a reason I stopped watching him.
Dark what? Dark Side who? What, the Star Wars guy?
Okay, one thing. I don't know if this has been mentioned, but is Sammy really that short? I mean, Phil's only like 5'8" or something,
That's
right?
not Sammy.
Oh, it's
No,
not.
that's just one of the conventions or whatever he went to.
I don't know who the hell that is.
Oh,
I don't know. He
Well,
just found
then.
that random picture. I don't think that's Sammy. If anything, that might be. Is that Master of Awesomeness?
I have no idea. I was under the impression that it was Sammy.
No,
so.
Sammy is the one with the sunglasses and the skinny jeans. Well, the tubby jeans. I don't know who this guy is.
No,
that
if
makes
it
it
was
even better. Oh my god.
if Sammy had a picture with Phil, we'd probably see that one picture the whole podcast.
You would see semen all over him.
Oh man.
But yeah, I like how Phil in this picture didn't get the memo at all. He's just like sitting there smiling, whereas Rambo and this random dude are both given the fists. Fucking Phil is just standing there like, "Huh." Like he's got like, look at the hair in the back. He's got like this weird little fucking, god damn it, man. He's got like the fucking presidential haircut and shit with the shit in the back. Like get that shit trimmed up, man.
Like
Anyways,
some bugged fist mechanics.
yeah, they're like, hey, this is what we're putting up Phil's ass. All right, let's continue on.
We don't have to participate in weekly 4-hour podcasts.
How is that? That's a
and
choice.
other activities
People pop
too,
in and out
such
as they want.
Thumbing up Phil's videos,
You
constantly
guys do.
posting on his forum,
You guys do.
retweeting every little minor thing.
He wants you to.
We might not be as big as the anti-DSP community.
Really?
Which I will openly admit.
Really?
Numbers-wise, we are probably slightly smaller.
Really?
But that works in our favor because there's no pressure to perform. We simply
Pause.
There's still
There's more pressure to perform because there's less of you. Phil wants there to be more of you, and he wants the people that are left over to fucking multiply themselves and fucking have a bigger footprint. Oh, I need 400 of you to show up on a live stream or else I'm not going to stream. That means I need more of you. I need you to fucking collaborate behind the scenes and all agree to come watch my streams, I guess. Like, there's more pressure on you guys. Every pre-stream, well, you guys aren't watching my videos enough. Go check them out. I need Patreon money. If there were more of you, and if you guys did more and watched his videos and shit, he would never fucking mention Patreon. He wouldn't even have a Patreon account. Moving on.
watch DSP videos. There are some fans that have never posted a comment, never tweeted, never interacted, and that's perfectly fine.
Okay.
I
Not to
look at
Phil.
the anti-DSP community and I see an operation, a mission, and everybody in the community has some sort of role and obligation.
Pause. Fizz, would you please let us know what is your role and obligation in this movement?
My role is to piss off directioners. That was the mission I was given.
And Fazzy, we already know that you are the mascot,
go team.
Mr. Che. What would you say would be your role and your obligation here in this movement?
I review 15-year-old games.
That no one cares about, like Sammy would say. Nobody cares. They want to see the new games, Jay. They don't care about the old games.
That's what I do.
And my role, of course, is issuing out the orders to all my minions. So I guess he's right there.
The DSP community much more relaxed in comparison.
Look at the forums.
Now,
Back to this.
I discussed this on the Bums of Kojima podcast, but I'll say it again.
Okay.
If DSP is not gone from YouTube by the end of the year, Fred Fox is going to be held responsible.
By who?
Now, some of you may be
By
wondering
him?
why. Why put a deadline on this, Sammy? My answer to that question is simply, why not?
Pause. Why do this, Sammy? Why not? Hey, Sammy, why are you going to jump off that bridge? Why not? The fuck are you talking? So that's your reasoning. Why not? Why not? I'm sure we'll hear in just a second him following up on it. Maybe not, but Freddie, I'm going to give you a deadline. You have to take out DSP within the end of this year. Why? Why not? I mean, seriously, you're trying to take him out of business, so why not you do it by the end of this year, Freddie?
Oh my God.
Continuing
Take
on.
back Metal Gear Solid 1. You think
God.
Snake had all the time in the world to stop his brother Liquid? No, he had a very limited time.
Fuck?
The
It didn't
fuck are you
take him
talking
1
about?
year or 5 years to accomplish his mission. Now, obviously, that's a video game, but you see my point.
No, I don't.
No.
Fred chose to be the leader,
I
but
chose.
leaders have eventually deliver.
Mm-hmm.
His community has grown a lot over the past
My
year.
community.
And with a growing community comes growing expectations.
From
Now,
who?
sure,
But you're the only one that ever expressed anything. Well, first of all, you're the only person that like says, "Oh, you're Fred. You own everyone." And second of all, you're the only person that says, "Oh, Fred. By the way, since you own everyone, there's an expectation that you, Fred, personally oversee the ousting of Phil from YouTube." Where are you even getting this? You personally see things that way. How are you attributing that to other people? Moving on.
if DSP is still on YouTube in 2016, the Bombs of Kojima and Fred will continue with the podcast.
That's true.
But he's gonna be all bark and no bite.
Okay.
The Bombs of Kojima will continue to laugh at Phil's goatee or weight or
Or
whatever.
lack thereof.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Phil Burnell will be laughing all the way to the bank.
Pause.
DSP's gonna still be on YouTube.
He's gonna laugh all the way to the bank, Freddy. He's gonna laugh because Patreon is just a bonus, Freddy. It's just a bonus. I mean, he has one, he needs one, he doesn't need one. The fact of the matter is, he has one. What do you have, Freddy? So, yeah, Phil, I'm sure that right now Phil's laughing all the way to the bank. He's laughing all the way to that bank. No, Sammy, he's laughing, he's crying all the way to the debt.
No,
And
no,
plus
you
he's not
see,
even, like-
no, you see, what he's doing is he's laughing. However, it's turning into sobbing as soon as he notices. Oh wait, this isn't as full as I thought it would be. That's what Phil's doing.
And that's even implying he gets out of the house to begin with.
Oh,
He
probably
just
does
uses
that
the
on
mobile
purpose.
app. You know, they have these beautiful apps now. You can just take a picture of your check and send it through the mobile app. You can cash checks that way. You don't even have to leave the house. I'm sure he already knows this.
Yeah, a couple of years will make Sammy's job obsolete. Oh wait, we do. It's called juicers.
Ooh.
That is some very high quality slander.
Moving on.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. The Bombs of Kojima are anonymous. They're not going to show themselves.
Okay.
There's
Pause. Let's see. So Mughal and Torres and Loophole and Lester and who else has shown themselves from this community? I think Cyanide and
Yep.
Fizz and Che and fuck. There's so many. So many people have shown their faces, okay? Some people don't want to, some people choose not to, some people would love to, but may not be able to because of different things that they have going on. All right? Everyone's personal choice is to reveal themselves however they want to with the internet. You, on the other hand, have decided to reveal yourself, and that's the worst thing you could have possibly done. Let me tell you why. Number one, people are going to make photoshops of you, okay? Because you're an idiot. Number two, people, if they wanted to be malicious, could try to get you in trouble with Whole Foods. Now, they know that you live in Illinois because you put that up on your fucking profile. You put where you live and shit like that. People can fucking find out more about Whole Foods. You said, and even if you could even be lying about the Whole Foods thing, you could have just bought a hat that says Whole Foods. But anyways, you have a fucking Whole Foods. You say you work in the juice section. Somebody could honestly try to fucking call around and shit and try to get you in trouble. Do you think that that was a good idea if that ends up happening? No. So it's up to people, you know, if they feel as though there's some sort of potential where it's going to reflect poorly on them, or if they feel as though it's going to have some sort of consequences in them, that they keep their internet and their fucking personal life separate. I don't see anything wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with it at all. I mean, I don't get this whole, like, in order to be credible, you need to show your face. That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
It's not going to take away from any of the words you have to say. So
right. I would say that you don't have to see people's face to receive their message any differently. So I don't know, just something. I think he just wants to see people's faces so he can do this little expose, hacks, docs, bullshit, you know. Just more ammunition to get more information on us to try to combat us. That's really it.
5 or 6 members, maybe more, and I've not seen one photo of any of them.
Oh, okay.
This group is no different than those hacking groups like Lizard Squad or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck they're called. You
We're
know,
a
the
hacking
group
group.
that hacked PlayStation a few years ago.
Uh-huh.
This operation
years ago,
is no
what the fuck?
different.
Oh,
The fact of the matter
okay.
is this,
Yeah.
folks. The longer this SoCast goes on,
Well, at least he said that
the
correctly.
more and more pathetic they look.
Yeah.
Okay. The
It's
longer
a
this
losing
fucking
effort.
podcast goes on, the more
It's
pathetic
not
you
in their
look.
favor. And you can see they're getting desperate at this point.
Uh-huh.
They now have to rely on his
Somebody's got a little bit of
natural
echo.
aging system for Phil to fail.
What?
They're now depending on Phil's health to go south and his
South.
age. Unlike Hideo Kojima, Phil is still in business
Hideo.
and doing his YouTube thing.
What the fuck,
So,
man? Why is everything
Maybe
Kojima
the
and Metal
sons of
Gear like?
Kojima should just give up
Uh-huh.
and hang up their boots because this operation is going nowhere. It really serves no purpose
Okay.
other than to be all bark and no bite.
Yeah, that's our goal.
It's all fluff, ladies and gentlemen. It is what it is. I said what I had
It
to say.
is what it is.
Got
That's
it
another
off
Phil
my
quote.
chest. And they obviously said what they had to say. And
Yeah.
obviously we will never get along.
Oh,
I would like them to prove me wrong. If Phil's such an asshole, he's such a horrible person.
pause. I can't even wait until he finishes his fucking sentence. Sammy, all right? We had a fucking conversation with you live on the air where you had the opportunity to say all these things that you're saying now with your evidence and all that other shit. You had the opportunity to bring that into a conversation where we could have proved you wrong or had say what you had to say. How are you going to say that we said what we had to say and that you said what you had to say? You were on a podcast with me, one-on-one, for 2 hours. And the only thing that you said in terms of backing up any of the claims that you were making is wait until the podcast. Now you use the podcast and you say literally nothing from the other one in terms of evidence or any of the shit that you were trying to prove points of. But you come on the podcast then and you say, well, you know, I said what I had to say and they said what they had to say. No, you are doing something completely separate now. And now, because you're too much of a bitch, that we can fucking have a fucking conversation with you, where now we have to make a response to you like this, in this way. So no, this isn't, they said what they had to say, and I'm saying what I have to say. We could have had that 2 hours a couple weeks ago on that podcast. That probably would have been pretty productive, don't you think? We could have had a free-flowing discussion about our ideas and our proofs and our opinions and our viewpoints. But no, you didn't want to do that. What you wanted to do was you wanted to come on and say, well, you know, you signed up for a debate, Freddie, and I saw that you brought evidence, but we're just gonna shoot the shit. And you fucking came up with all these unsubstantiated claims. And now, this is your time. We're at the end of your video, Sammy. You're basically signing off at this point. You had your opportunity, and you fucking failed. And for you to try to say, well, I'm saying what I gotta say now. You had your opportunity. Now it's too late. And when you finally came through, man, is it too little too late. It's nothing and forever too late. Continuing on.
Well, put on my business and prove me wrong. But I'm not gonna mention these kids again.
Yeah.
At least not until January 1st of 2016.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
I will see what the situation is on that day and address it accordingly.
Can't wait.
If you see me, if
Hopefully he'll
anyone
make another
sees
podcast.
me tweet about them on a daily basis, if you see me do a weekly podcast each week, then you have every right to call me mentally ill.
What?
And you know what? I won't even argue with you. As of now, I'm done with this whole SOK drama.
Yeah,
and
right.
We'll go back to watching DSP videos.
Yeah,
and
of course you will. You gotta support him somehow.
and things of that nature. As
You
far
gonna
as
give $1,
Darkside
Sammy?
Phil himself, I will always continue to be a fan.
Always.
Unless he, of course, goes on a murdering spree or robs a bank.
That's where he draws the line.
Or if he insults me out of
He
nowhere,
kills a bunch of people.
just randomly. I'll tell you one thing. If by the 1% chance he does call me a name or insult, let's say he calls me a stupid buffoon, I'll stop being a fan.
He
but
started
I won't
laughing.
join the anti-DSP community and start a protest
bet
or
you-
crusade.
We're gonna
Pause.
have to keep
We
him
don't
on
want
that
you.
word.
Pause. Yeah, we don't want you, first of all.
Go away.
Second of all, I guarantee you, if Phil heard you and heard that you were being the representative of him and his interests to come on our podcast, because you know Phil watches our podcast. I mean, he's too egotistical to not think, oh, there's people that don't like me. Let's see what they have to say. If he found out about you, if he was asked about you, if somebody showed him footage of things that you were saying, he would call you a stupid buffoon. He really would.
It's very.
He'd call him a lot worse than that.
Oh.
I mean, that insult was very specific. It kind of like you almost had to say it. It almost hit home for him.
A
Tubby.
stupid buffoon.
Tubby.
Oh. Nobody calls me Tubby.
A stupid buffoon. Well, I mean, you pretty much fit the bill on that one, my friend.
Oh my
Like,
god.
You know, to call somebody stupid with two different fucking adjectives, or sorry, two different nouns. Well, you got an adjective and a noun. Yeah, all right, perfect. There you go. You got an adjective and a noun. A stupid buffoon. Beautiful. Moving on. What were you gonna say, Che? We don't want him.
No, we don't.
Are you sure?
No.
You don't want to review his application?
What? No.
I
Tell
mean,
him to go the fuck away.
I don't know, man. I'm thinking about it. Don't you think it'd be fun to have him around?
Yeah, that shit.
What?
Every
I think
day-
it's fun to have him around in places where I'm not.
Every day he starts the call up with us. So when are you gonna put him out of business, Freddie?
Nah.
Nah.
Best if he isn't around. That's the
All
best
right.
way to have him. If he's in his little, one bedroom apartment, just sitting there not doing anything.
He's in a loft. All right, let's finish this up.
The whole idea of an anti-community is silly to me. It's silly and petty in my opinion. Instead, what I will do is just move on with my life and find another source of entertainment. Maybe some Netflix or something. And that's all I gotta
Yeah,
say
Netflix
about
and
that.
chill definitely sounds up your alley, Sammy.
And there's the music
And
again. Let's
the music.
turn this fucking shit down.
And there's those goddamn skinny jeans that
Dude,
make
he
you look
looks-
like a jackass.
He looks like a fucking generic enemy in Max Payne. I'm telling you.
I swear, he looks like someone I've seen before. I can't.
So was he trying to like?
Postal dude. It's Postal dude from Postal 2.
Oh shit.
And by the way, Evil
Oh.
AJ 2010. Don't forget to put that in your This Is How You Don't Play. When you do your job, don't forget to put that.
Jesus, man.
Oh my god.
All right, so that, ladies and gentlemen, is the epic conclusion to this epic. What do we even want to call this? A saga? Fucking some fuck uppery at its finest.
Shooting the shit.
Man, he shot the shit, and I don't want to make a grim joke about him shooting himself, but I'm just saying, man, I just feel like there's no future for this man. I bet you the juice he makes tastes like shit. Can you imagine this idiot making some juice for you and catching an attitude? Hey, do you know about DSP? I'm spreading the word. That's probably what he does. Every customer, hey, have you ever heard of Dark Side Phil? He does commentaries of video games. Go check him out on YouTube.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Dark Side Phil on YouTube, because, hey, do you know who the sons of Kojima are? Oh, you do. They're a bunch of fucking, yo, I bet you Freddy sent you here to get the juice. Well, I'm gonna spit in that shit because you guys need to take him out.
Freddy.
Freddy?
Take your medicine.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is so much I want to say about this, but there's so little time. All I want to say is that I, at the end of the day, am very, very happy that we had him on the podcast. We had to jump through some hoops to do it, and I had to bite my tongue several times with this guy to not tell him to go fuck himself and to just go off into his own land. But I feel like by biting my tongue, by having him on at the end of the day, he came on, he provided us with several different quotes and memes. He even showed his face to us. We now have a face and voice to put to the Sammy Samosa John Cena avatar on the forums and on Twitter. And, there's been, I think we're the third response video to this now. Mr. Ludacris did some fantastic, he actually did two fantastic ones. Miles and Shouldn't Be Gaming, I think Miles and Hiseo did one of their own, and I'm sure other people have done, I think AJ did a live stream, Evil AJ. So, there's been a lot of positive to come out of this, based on Sammy, an energy around the community based on him, and I actually have had people reach out to me, that I haven't talked to before, or that I haven't talked to in a while, and kind of joke around with me about this and stuff like that. So I've reconnected with some people based on this, and yeah, this really has been a positive thing for the community to get to know Sammy here. And for those that are saying that we may be promoting him or anything like that, I want you to think about this. And Mr. Ludacris said something very similar, so I don't want to go without giving him some credit for this thought. That, if people were going to his channel based on us doing this and saying, you know what, that guy's right, I need to subscribe to that guy, I need to get more of that guy, and I need to, have his views in the world on my feed every day, that would be something different. But he's still at 50 subscribers. People have just been looking at him as if it's a car accident through their windows and passing through. And I don't think he monetizes his stuff. I need to double check that, but I don't feel as though he's gained anything. If anything, he's just exposed himself for being an idiot. And for this video specifically, I'm very appreciative because I'm not going to say a lot of people, but there were people that thought that Sammy Samosa was Che. And by having this account that was made in 2009, do the same voice, show a picture that's very hard to Photoshop, that picture that he made there. I made a Photoshop of it with a new shirt, and it was kind of tough, but he's got a shirt there autographed by fucking Phil, like he said that he did on the podcast. That's clearly not Che in that picture. I haven't seen this picture floating around. Same voice. Account was made in 2009. He links all of these accounts, his Twitter and his YouTube, to the Patreon, in which he's given Phil over now $200. You know, that would all be very, very hard to pull off if this was a big ruse to fucking create a Sammy Samosa fictional character for me to debate. So this video in itself is more evidence that Sammy is a real person, that there is actually that much idiocy in the world, and that this is a representation of Phil's fan base. At least one of them. It's one representation of Phil's fan base. This is your representative, ladies and gentlemen. This is the one that stepped up to the plate.
And I feel sorry for all of you.
Well, I feel sorry for everyone that tuned in to watch this live. I feel sorry for everyone that's going to watch this on YouTube. And I feel sorry for us as a panel for having to sit through this. But it needed to be done. It was requested to be done. And I think that's it. Are there any other final thoughts that we want to give before we get out of here for tonight?
Sammy, please don't ever do anything like this again. You'll end up killing some people.
I'm actually going to say the opposite. And I'm going to say, Sammy, please do more of these. I would very much appreciate if you did more of these. You're saying this is one and done, but we need more, Sammy. We need to open up the mind of Sammy. We need to know what makes you tick. And I personally would like to request that you have a friend of yours record on their camera phone you making some juice. Show us how it's done. You show us the proper fucking mixture. You're the Sammy's choice. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see Sammy's choice. What is the proper amount of vegetable to fruit ratio? What do you put in there? How long do you grind it? You know, what serving size is correct? What kind of straw do you recommend? I want to know all these things, Sammy. I need to know about the juice. Please. Che, any final thoughts?
Well, make them shorter so I don't fall asleep. Don't do them at all. This guy giving me a fucking headache.
Don't do them.
Fuck off.
Ooh. Some sharp words from Mr. Che here.
That was terrible.
Mr. Fast Fuck.
I've got nothing more to say.
And Mr. Fizz, anything else?
We better see that second podcast January 1st, Sammy.
Yes, sir. We need to ring in the new year with some more Sammy Samosisms. All right, so for Moon Main, Mr. Fizz, Mr. Faz, Mr. Che, I, Mr. Freddy Fucks, Freddy Boy, Freddy. I thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming out live. Thank you for all the viewers on YouTube. We appreciate it. Thank you for all the tweets and support and response videos and all that kind of stuff. Thank you for laughing along with us as we venture through the mind of Sammy. And this was one hell of a journey. And, of course, we love you. Go fuck yourselves. Good night.
See you.
Good night.